Been many nights since we've returned to New York City. Lots changed since the rumors of the end became so popular. Let's give a quick history of the city. The most relevant thing you need to know is back in 1999, New York City was Sabbat territory. Worshippers of the Nodist Cainite philosophy, believers in the end times of Gehenna, that the antediluvians would wake and devour the world, and they were there to save us from ourselves. Well, the Camarilla wanted to reestablish themselves in New York City, and a parley was called. That parley ended up in the beheading of the Prince of New York, of the Camarilla. This sparked what became known as the Battle of New York. Packs of Sabbat and coteries of the Camarilla stalked the streets, hunting each other. All-out war in the vampire world on the streets of New York. And at the very end of this grand conflict, it was the Camarilla that held their heads, fangs bared, high. With some thanks to a few peace-loving, preferring, maybe, anarchs, the Camarilla have maintained their control of the Big Apple, making it a stronghold for the Ivory Tower. The princedom has changed hands several times. In these nights, a rather ostentatious prince rules, a Toreador, by the name Le Grand Papillon. A peace amongst the anarchs and the Camarilla has also seemingly been struck. There's no active terrorism currently going on, and, well, the Sabbat have been quiet lately. Rumors as to why that is are abound. A lot's also changed in terms of the way the Camarilla run things. Specifically, traditions have changed. The age of information has scared a lot of elders, so the Camarilla has made it a breach of the first tradition, a breach of the Masquerade itself, to be found meddling with too much technology. And of course, that can be interpreted in many ways, as vampires are wont to do. So in these nights, the Camarilla finds themselves communicating in conventional means. Gotta stay safe. There's humans that are aware. An inquisition is said to be coming. Not a simple rabble of hunters, but a full-blown second inquisition lurks in the shadows, hunting the hunters. And the hunters get hunted. But that doesn't matter tonight. What matters is it's Elysium night. It's the night when the vampires get to strut their stuff. Let the rest of them know who looks best. And for some, that means who's better. For some. It's a cool night. It's a light rain pattering off the top of the town car as you make your way to the Century Association, a normally very exclusive social club for mortals. Their building has been, well, rented out for the night for a well-to-do private party. And of course, our coterie are attending. In the car, well, I'll let them describe themselves. What is Delia wearing?
Well, I suppose Delia's kind of the mix of I tried and also business casual. She knows Miss Priestley's a bit particular about how you should look during Elysium, but it's not really her priority. She wears a plaid blazer with strange structure, and about her neck there's these chains that kind of trickle down with bones. You don't know what from, but they kind of mix into the jewelry, and sometimes people don't notice it that much, but they do notice that she smells kind of like oatmeal, apricots, and antiseptic.
Next to her.
Well, Eddie's kind of got a sort of... He kind of is just in the car in what he would normally wear, just his favorite shredded sort of denim jacket, vest.
Well, it was a jacket.
It was a jacket, yeah, he slashed it off. He's got like, just a button down, some gray jeans, and he put on some form of deodorant just to not attract too much attention from others.
He still has the smell of fresh earth on him, though.
Yeah, very, very, not exactly manure, but some dirt and garden feel to him.
Mulch.
Compost.
Yeah, some compost.
It's okay, we're used to it now, Eddie.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And sitting so that she isn't being touched by the dirty one.
Well, not always. Okay.
Miss Evelyn.
Evelyn herself is, of course, famously monochromatic in everything that she wears, and she's wearing a lavish ostrich-feathered coat of her own design, as well as a beautiful white dress, also her own design, with her signature straight black and white hair, also of her own design. Straight, perfect, and clean.
So fucking Toreador.
Yeah, you really just going all out. Why? It's what makes it. It's just another party of old people.
You understand, we're going to be in the company of the Prince of Grand Papillon, right?
Yeah.
And I asked you to please dress nicely. You didn't even try.
What do you mean? Like, hold on. You're not getting the full effect of this. See? Look.
Oh no. Oh Eddie.
I'm sorry, is that a t-shirt with a suit printed?
I had to buy this with my own money. No thanks to you, and I think I look rather dapper. You're welcome, Miss Priestley.
He needs to be mobile. If he's gonna protect you, he needs to,
Yeah, if I'm good.
It's fine. Those people won't be a pain.
If it were a suit or something, it would rip, and then that would just cost more money. And I'm not in that business.
It's a endearing showing of effort, Eddie.
You're welcome, Miss Priestley.
At least she didn't kick you out of the car this
Well,
time.
I mean, even if she did, I would catch up because I have to.
True. She rustles through her purse and produces a little, like, chip of magnet. She's like, just put this down your bra. Here
I'm
you
sorry, why? What is this one of your contraptions?
Well,
Of imbued...
I'm sure you don't want us, like, around you at all times, but if you were to go off somewhere, we'll have an idea of where you went. Just keep it on your person. You don't have to show anybody. I know we don't want it to, like, infringe on your image, but so many people in one spot, it would make me feel better. Insurance.
Would it make me feel better? How does that protect her? It's a magnet.
It is. Magnets, how do they work? I will tell you that it is not necessarily a protection. It's more of so I know where she is at all times.
I should know where she is at all times.
Yeah, but you're probably going to be behind her all the time.
Or very alarming.
You pay me to care about you, okay?
I don't pay you. Grand Papillon pays you.
But you pay
Semantics.
me. She pays me.
I do pay her.
So I'm doing my job. Just shove it down your bra and just be done with it. You're not going to notice it.
I do have to say, while I don't necessarily agree with the color of your pantsuit,
Listen,
I love the cut.
Thank you.
I could design it better. We should
Well,
talk about that sometime.
If you want to pay me to wear your uniform, we can look that over.
My
That's
clothes are
fine.
designer. It is a privilege to wear my designs, especially when they're made for you.
Listen, I understand how you dress will affect how people treat you, so I don't want to stand out perhaps the way you do.
Couldn't you imagine if we were all beautifully monochromatic? Black and white? You would look great in an actual black suit. If you tried.
Or I could just enjoy.
You have a beautiful white, perfect. Oh, and with your black leather, it would work lovely. I could design something perfect for both of you. If you would just let me.
Your priorities may be why you don't garner as much respect. Just saying. If you want people to perhaps look at you as something a little bit less of an airhead, maybe
an airhead.
She said it. She said it, not me. I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but
I built my entire empire on my designs.
An empire of clothing.
Your paycheck comes from that empire. Keep in mind.
I'm trying to. You pay me for a very vague service. I'm filing under friendly advice. That's what that was. Friendly advice. It's in the gray section.
Thank you. I'll ask for it next time.
Are we almost there?
You notice the car has slowed and is now sitting in line.
Daniel, could you please just roll down the window just a bit?
The window to your side rolls down for you, even though you have your own button to press. You realize you have maybe a 5-minute wait in line as the cars slowly unload their passengers at the front of the Century Association, and
they should just let us go first.
I mean, we wouldn't have had to wait so long if you didn't get all dressed up as much as you did.
You could have taken an Uber.
Now. I'm sorry, what?
An Uber. It's the city. It's absolutely. We can get one on any corner, but you had to be very flashy about this.
I'm going to make something very clear. We're not going to talk about any of your external communications anywhere near Elysium.
Taxi cab.
You know how Miss Priestley gets with that stuff. Just let her be.
You're not wrong.
You know what?
Window, please.
It's too much trouble. Too much trouble.
the window rolls up.
I do appreciate the external information that you can gather and the influence that my designs can make on the community. But please, not near Elysium, okay? Don't even mention any of the Ubers.
So, Mom, you're saying I can't play with my Game Boy? Of course I know that.
See, it's going right over her head.
I know. Yes.
Just
listen.
Just behave for her sake.
Your turn
don't cause
in
trouble.
line has arrived. You hear Daniel's door open, being behind the divider that you had installed.
Of course.
Between the front and the back of the town car. You hear his footsteps. And then the door.
Chanel number 5.
The door right next to Miss Priestley opens, and the driver stands back in his crisp black suit and rather outdated hat, but still looking the part. Before you is a gold-trimmed red carpet leading directly into the beautiful Century Association. A rather showy architectural marvel.
I love it.
The Century Association was called the Century Association because originally it only allowed 100 men into its membership. Over the years, due to court cases and other, publicity issues, they have opened up their membership to allow in others, as well as ladies, much to their chagrin. And the membership is still in the 6-digit region per year. So you can imagine just how glamorous this whole place is. While not being too loud. Kind of a subtle glamour. You look at the chairs as the doors are open. You can see into the foyer. You can see a fainting couch, a few chairs, and they scream money and opulence. But not actually screaming it, if you understand what I mean.
I don't know how literal is screaming furniture.
Daniel extends a hand to Miss Priestley and helps her out of the car. Now, a camarilla get-together like this would never allow any kind of photography. So the paparazzi, all that kind, there might be one cameraman across the street trying to take shots of what the big party is, and maybe they'll catch somebody that they think is worthy of a tabloid spot. You hear a few snaps, the pop of a bulb, and then you hear the crack of a jaw, and somebody getting kicked, and the shattering of a camera as somebody walks back across the street in the direction of the Century Association and takes a new place amongst the shadows.
Evelyn, of course, walks forward, letting her beautiful white and black ensemble trail behind her.
Sort of grudge shoved myself out of the car, sort of tag alongside at a reasonable distance, just to not, get in the way of her pretty glamour time.
I think we're used to keeping a few steps
Three
behind,
and
not
one.
wanting to be swept up in.
It's like a triangle.
Doing the 3-in-1, 3 paces back, 1 pace to the side.
Yeah.
Kind of defense
Little-
formation.
Little
Defense
slow-mo like walk sequence, like dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Delia feeling absolutely embarrassed walking up the side.
utterly just like, oh god. Okay, we're here to find some information out, make her happy. We don't need to make our entire night of this. Let's just get this over with.
I just hope they have good food. That'd be
Remember,
nice.
just decorum, Jim. Just decorum.
Delia, what does decorum mean?
Don't say that too loud. She may hit you. Oh god.
As you enter,
It means be polite.
Oh, okay. Sorry, don't know the meaning of the word,
It's
literally.
fine.
you can hear the musical taste of the prince
Oh,
just echoing off of every wall.
where's the emotion? Where's the...
Perfect.
Those
Oh.
of you with any kind of musical ear realize that this is a live performance being piped through the audio.
Judge them in person.
Nobody's really milling about the foyer. Before you, a grand stair heads up and splits to the second floor balcony above you. To your right, a large door, large double door, stands open. Apologize for adjustments. There we go. Small production. But to your right, the door stands open and you can see the large gathering hall. The lights are low, mostly candlelight. Maybe the occasional soft electric bulb, but it's obvious they're trying to avoid any such modern choices. Inside, you can see the array of vampire society. Walking, schmoozing, chatting amongst themselves. You can see servants, not readily aware if ghouls or if just paid servants for the night, but they move from grouping to grouping, carrying what look like long, thin, long-stemmed flute glasses with what's to be wine in them, handing them out as they go. Oh, Evelyn definitely enters.
Oh yeah.
I gotta keep an eye on her, so I'll go on after her.
Leaning kind of behind, she's like, I didn't ask any questions. She just went in. Okay, that's fine.
What's there to ask?
Well, I mean, I was gonna see if maybe she could ask people if you... Evelyn? Miss Priestley.
She stops in mid-step.
Miss Priestley. I was wondering, I know that you have to make your rounds, and when you do, could you maybe see if you hear anything about the thin blood incident in Times Square? It caught my interest.
We want to talk about the dispute.
Stage whispers, guys.
I mean,
the
sure.
microphones aren't that great.
I mean,
We want to talk about the dispute.
it's interesting, and you are so focused on maybe procuring some information, and it would look favorable if you were to have that. Or if you want to just be uneducated and everyone will laugh at you, that's fine too. I'm just saying, you have a particular way with people that Eddie and I maybe fail with.
And with me.
I mean,
Fine. I'll see what I can ask around about the thin blood incident.
if we're going about asking questions, can you... I'm kind of interested in what's been going on around Booklet Bridge.
I don't have a notepad with me.
Okay, well, I'm just saying people have been kind of dying a bit there. Well, not dying, but they've been sloppy dying, and like, you know, I'm just worried for
Definitely
your
dying.
sake. I mean, of people, not vampires.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a mess. It would be
I mean, I'm
interesting-
okay with it, but I mean, like, I know it's not good on
Okay, so
society.
addressing the sloppy kills near the Brooklyn Bridge Station.
Yes, I would like to know more.
And the thin blood incident.
It's
in
just
Times
you're so
Square.
good. You're so good with people.
Yeah, they love you so much, so very much.
I guess I can ask. Is that all?
For now,
Do you know where the food is?
you
Everyone
didn't
just
feed
turns
before
and
get.
walks
Oh, God.
in.
Eddie's less familiarity with the formal functions of vampires realizes that those walking around with the trays are the ones carrying the food for the night.
I do see them now.
As Evelyn walks in, I'm assuming they're walking around. She can just grab
Grab one of the stem
Yeah.
glasses.
Mhm.
Okay. You notice as you lift it off, the base was attached to the tray and now essentially in your hand you have a spiraled, dagger-like needle stem to the glass.
Was that supposed to happen?
What happened? I thought you knew
They
all the
seem
ins
to
and
be.
outs.
Looking around, if you wish to look around, you can see that there's several people. And anybody holding one, it's a similar situation.
You broke it, Miss Priestley.
First step in, party foul. All right, so everybody make. Let's do our first roll of the game.
Oh boy.
We're gonna have you.
Rolling my bat box of nutmeg. Yeah, I
We're
definitely
going-
had to bust that out for us.
Is
We're
that
gonna have
the
you,
lid or the
Kindred,
bottom? I want
with
to show off
a
the bad
wit.
side.
I have to decide if this is.
It's very nice.
It's adorable.
It's red. It's very hot.
Gonna take a look at my skill list here. So the way 5th edition works, still using the dice pool system. You have 2 stats, an attribute and a skill. Add them together. That is your dice pool. Then you roll it. That is the basic die mechanic. We'll get more into the more interesting things as we go on throughout the evening. But this is going to be a wits awareness, because this is a social situation. So this is going to be a wits awareness check. So everything above a 6, remember, is a success.
I have 1 hunger die.
And remember to replace 1 hunger die. You're all hungry at 1.
I got 2 8s, so 2 successes.
That's 2 successes.
A whole lot of nothing.
My only success was an 8 on the hunger die.
That's fine. That
Okay.
counts. So that's 1 success, 2 success.
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. So Delia is just uncomfortable. She's not really looking at anyone's faces. She isn't really trying to draw the attention of anyone at all. Just kind of stay within the group that is drawing the least attention. Seems to be Delia's prerogative at this moment. Evelyn notices several faces that she recognizes. She sees Siegbert, the Ventru Primogen, walking about with believed to be a ghoul consort for the evening. Beautiful, but obviously not of your kind. She wears a white leather collar that seems to signify her station, as is Siegbert's choice. You see you opened the wrong document, dumbass.
You got my roll.
There's the updated one. You notice also Lucas Lenner, the Trembier Primogen, seems to be chatting with another. You believe he's chatting with another Trembier. You're not completely up on who's in their house, but they seem to be very engaged in some rather casual conversation. Their body language doesn't belie any kind of conspiratorial nature. Occasionally chuckling back and forth. They're probably talking about some long-dead philosopher that you don't care anything about. You notice Kendrick skulking about. This probably be the most,
Of course, Kendrick.
the most socially accepted gangrel of the city.
And what is he wearing?
Oh, Kendrick, he's a...
I'm about to get up stage so hard.
You don't want to fit in with this crowd, Eddie.
He's about a 6'2" person of color. Dreadlocks held back in a ponytail. He seems to have tried a little bit harder than Eddie.
I've tried very, very hard.
He's wearing a sport jacket. Not exactly super formal, but something you'd see on a yacht deck.
Business.
Business casual.
This is very
No
business.
tie,
Very
open
business.
down
You have
to
your
the
priorities
third
straight.
button, untucked shirt.
Shirt
He's
is not tucked in.
barefoot.
Oh.
Oh.
He's Eddie's wearing shoes.
Yeah.
See, you can't be mad at him anymore, right? Look,
But
Lad's
he
got
is,
shoes.
He is the resident lapdog. He's the Gangrel whip.
Ugh.
He's in charge of making sure the Gangrel in the city stay in line and follow the Camarilla's rules, and maybe one day he can get the Gangrel of at least New York back in the good graces of the Camarilla.
And do I see Grand Papillon anywhere?
Grand Papillon is not in the room at the moment.
Okay.
Eddie is eyeing the room as well. A little bit more of a analytical eye. This is Elysium. Combat, violence, not accepted.
Not preferred.
Not tolerated in the least.
No, be on my best behavior for Miss Priestley and the prince, you know.
And for your own neck.
Well, yeah.
He notices some people who might have wanted to stay unnoticed, but due to the rules of Elysium, they aren't able to exactly flex the way they would go unnoticed normally.
Who was that I spy?
You catch, you catch the unpleasant visage of the Nosferatu primogen, Fernando Angel.
This guy.
He's off to one side, observing, keeping an eye on the rest of the party,
Oh, of course he is.
drinking from a glass.
One of those stabby glasses like
Yeah.
Miss Priestley. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Evelyn knows that the stem glass concept is definitely Papillon making a statement about vampires and their constant need to stab each other in the back or something. He loves making those little statements through subtle points throughout.
I mean, with stakes, it's like a very literal thing, but sure, subtle.
He also notices somebody that is definitely wrinkling some feathers around. The Bruja Suffet is here as well. Rodney Ellis. All 300 stocky pounds of him. Broad across the shoulders. Ex-military, it seems. He seems to be walking about and trying to make conversation with people as much as they can, and the more sensible Camarilla, those who care about their current position, seem to be kind of avoiding him.
Yeah.
Bruja are not accepted currently within the Camarilla.
No, they are not. I'm not gonna go up to him. Normally. I don't know. We just...
Do we see any of the harpies about, particularly?
Oh, of course you do. You definitely see,
I think,
without having to get a success on a check, Alice is making herself known. You can hear her lilting laugh, delicate, like ringing china, just kind of bouncing almost harmoniously with the music.
Yeah, let's see.
You're fairly sure she's a cousin of some kind, sire through a sire, you know, one of those things.
What is she wearing?
Gold. Gold, thin. I wouldn't call them. Oh God, why am I blanking on the word?
I really was expecting
Shimmer.
to say bikini, like gold thin bikini.
No, shimmer.
It's New York.
Shimmering,
I mean,
it's not sequins, but like the thin, that thing dangling style.
The shimmery,
Oh, yes,
like
I know
the
what you're-
yeah,
Yeah.
Almost like a.
like a beaded.
Fringe. Like a fringe. gold.
No. The whole dress is made up of this.
It's like the little things that like you can flip them up and down, and they like change the.
Those are actual sequins.
Yeah, those are actually sequins.
Okay.
But like a drape of beads.
Yeah, very thin beads.
Yeah, beads.
And it seems that every time she moves in a particular way, it's not exactly as concealing as what most would be. You're fairly sure if she were to spin in a circle, she would just reveal all.
Do I see anybody wearing my designs?
We got one. We don't see any current design.
She's gonna be in a terrible mood if she doesn't.
Do I see any?
No, you don't even know up from down.
I mean that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
So.
But that was one harpy. You said the angel family was.
No, I said you saw a harpy. The other two, you're not aware of right now. There's a lot of people here. Have you been sipping the?
Yes, I have been sipping, and I'm.
You notice?
Coach, I want somebody to take my cup.
Okay, that's easily enough. Could have been done earlier. But, as you go to take it off, a servant comes up, grabs it from you, folds it over one arm, bows, and walks away, even holding your glass so that you can pull your arms out without having to worry about your drink. As it touches your lips, you get a moment of shock and fear for a moment. It tastes of wine.
Actual wine.
Actual wine. That would be quite the party foul if you were to all of a sudden imbibe some actual food and not be able to keep it down. Make a wits.
Oh no.
I need you to make a wits. Wits composure. Make a wits composure test. So that's how many dice? 5.
Don't forget the hunger die. Okay, you got it. Okay.
And you replace the hunger die.
A 6 and a 9.
Those are 2 successes. Before you nearly lose your cool, you maintain. And you realize there's something jingling at the bottom of your glass. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but as you continue, it's got that copper warmth of blood as it hits the back of your throat. It's very strange. You've never experienced this before, and you don't know what it is.
Miss Priestley, are you okay? You're
I
making a
think-
face.
You're not being poisoned, are you?
I know, but Creme Papillon has a very interesting choice of drink.
That's wine?
Choice.
I mean, if
It's-
everyone's drinking it, then what's
I
the
think
big
Are we
deal?
not supposed?
You can
Let me
see
sniff.
several others drinking it just rather readily, specifically the Ventrews sipping it.
Would you like me to get you a glass?
I mean, Sure, yeah.
There's servants walking around. The second you look interested, they beeline to you and offer
Thank
you a
you.
glass.
I'll take 2.
It is. You don't have to pay for them.
Exactly.
Okay, well, you don't even know what it is. Don't drink it yet.
You just said it was
She instantly just
wine.
shoves her tongue in it.
Make a intelligence occult check, please.
God, spooky wine.
Spooky wine.
Spooky wine.
Spooky wine.
Spooky wine.
I mean, I'm your body. I should be like taste testing like all of your food before you eat or drink anything. But then again, you're drinking blood, so that's on you.
That's a lot of dice.
That is a lot of dice.
All right.
Ooh.
2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's a lot of dice.
Yeah.
Your Tremiere sensibilities fire off like fireworks. This is one of the lost rituals that was lost in the Vienna explosion and decimation. This is preserved vitae. You know it to be done by taking some kind of metal, ore-laden stone, sometimes a coin could be used, and infusing it with basically a pint's worth of blood.
As she's retracting her tongue, she kind of looks around to make eyes to see if Lucas is looking particularly pleased with himself today.
Oh yeah, I think he's having his little conversation, chuckling. He's an older man than most vampires are embraced. He might have been found later in life, and he had made some kind of advance.
It's good, drink it.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
Chug.
Evelyn.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's safe. It's 100% preserved. It's just blood.
Oh, so it's not wine at all.
You're not gonna have
But
to
it
hurl
is
chunks
wine.
later.
Oh, but
I
it is
mean,
wine.
Here's the thing. It is wine. The
Okay.
preserved blood needs to be put into a fluid of some kind. And wines seem to work best when diluting the blood back into its original form. Since you're all at hunger 1, it doesn't satisfy the beast. The beast wants a life at this point. So as much as the beast appreciates the meal, it's not enough to possibly make your hunger drop lower.
Miss Priestley, just so that I'm not, rude, where do I put our little stabby cups now? Stabby glasses. Is there like a person collecting them
There
from us?
are several tables about that have.
If you would just look around your surroundings, you would see.
I've never been here before.
You can observe over there is where you can put your glass.
I'll just flip them over.
You flip them over onto the bases that are there for you to place them back into.
Or that.
No. They're upside down.
Yeah, no.
That's an Eddie move.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean,
You can tell who's been at the table. Fantastic.
it's not a big deal. Miss Priestley, it's interesting because this is not exactly easily accessible. I'm very curious how who procured the skills for this. If you were to, on the list of things that we asked you to ask about, if you were.
I'll ask Grandpa
Ahem. You hear come from the back of the room. A grand curtain cuts off that part of the room. It being the lighting that it was inside the grand dining hall. You hadn't really paid it much notice. large curtains cover up all the windows. It just looks like another piece of drapery. And that's when it slowly starts to pull back, revealing behind it, lit by luminous spotlights,
Typical fashion.
wearing a brilliant white and black, well-cut, long jacket ensemble that you recognize, stands the picturesque image of, well, the easiest way for me to describe it is imagine the pale white duke. High cheekbones, a jawline that could cut you.
Just any kind of cut.
Black hair swept back. Not plastered to his head, but still kept in an immaculate state. With his arms out, one hand holding a glass, the other hand holding his hand up. And you hear, "Welcome to my little soiree. I hope you enjoy tonight's refreshments. And Alicia, I would like to thank the wonderful Seaper for securing our location for the night. Without his help, we would not have the means or the money to do much of anything around here. Thank you, Seaper. He gives a bit of a begrudging nod and a real I hate this fucking guy smile. Le Grand Papillon turns and says, "Those of you who are not an honored guest, consider yourself so. Enjoy the refreshments which have been provided by Mr. Lenner."
There's your answer.
He holds up a glass to everyone.
Just goes and picks up another glass for me.
He went to some painstaking lengths to make sure that we had enough for everyone tonight. No pun intended, folks. No pun intended. Everybody gives a little bit of a chuckle.
Huh?
Evelyn noticeably takes a step forward and away. So
we're just sitting here, the reject stepchildren,
away from her entourage.
This is tonight. Court will be an informality. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the night. Tonight's Elysium is a time to live. Salut. He takes a drink and you can hear a hushed clap as the music slowly comes back.
I'm holding a drink. I can't clap and hold my drink at the same time.
Your leg! She's gonna yell at us
Slowly
later.
begins making the rounds as the spotlights dim.
Put that back so I can have my hands.
Evelyn would probably right away find her way walking up to Le Grand Papillon.
Just trudge slowly behind.
He takes his glass and nearly drops the half-full glass, but whoever was paying attention on the wait staff quickly grabbed it before it left his hand completely and took it away as he walks forward to you in a elegant dancer's style, light on his toes as ever. Grabs you almost as if about to take you onto the dance floor and twirls you around once in his arms. Ma petite chou! Oh, I'm so glad you made it.
I'm so
He
glad
holds
to
you
be
out
here.
as though you were in a tango release and pulls you back in. Oh, you look fabulous. I tried to do my best with what you sent, but I don't know. Does it fit?
I think it looks great. Maybe. And she like dusts off his shoulders and looks at the cup. She goes,
He loves every moment of it as you're touching it. He's putting his arm out. Like, oh,
I
yes.
could make it a little tighter around the waist. You look fabulous.
No. I do believe I start to look chubby.
Never.
And as he looks over your shoulder, your friends are here as well.
Yes.
Monsieur Dirt.
It's actually Dirk.
Ah,
But,
right, yes.
You just call me Eddie, sir. Prince. Thank you for
I'm so sorry.
inviting us to your lavish Elysium.
Yes, I see you put in the most effort you could
Ah.
into.
Of course.
I
It was a
tried
grand
to lay
evening.
out a suit for him and everything, and he just that instead.
Oh, I could have sworn this was one of your designs.
Everyone gives smiles softly, nods.
Oh,
She
oh,
did try and
it
pull
is-
something out for him.
It is your, black and white style. I thought it might have been something you influenced, but
I would have preferred for it to be the real thing, but
Well,
he tries.
I'm more about just making sure that she is safe and having a grand evening, and if I have to be a bit less stylish about it, then I will take the hit.
glad to see that my
Evan's like looking away, like
I'm glad to see that my investment is paid off. I expect you to continue in your duties.
As long as I'm still getting paid, I will be at your service and her service.
And Miss Brooks?
Very good job with the procurements of the refreshments. You did.
Yes.
oh, she was a big fan.
Linnell
Same.
contacted me and let me know that he had something special for tonight. So I decided to forego the usual refreshments and see what he had to offer. And well, I do believe it is causing quite a stir.
I know you always love to spice things up your own. They've done a wonderful job this evening.
Oh, any night I can make an appearance. I wish to make sure it is a grand appearance.
Oh.
Now, if you do understand, of course, I have other people to see, and he leans in and air kisses lightly next to each cheek. And says, I will be back around. You will see me again tonight.
Of course.
Not an enormous party, but I have business to speak of.
Of course.
He kind of waves sort of in your direction.
Just give like a nod of
You have fun as well, of course.
as best I can, sir.
And he whirls away and heads towards another grouping of individuals.
Did we notice who he's making his rounds to?
Make a wits awareness check.
Not my best roll, guys. Not my best roll.
Being very inquisitive tonight.
It's not terribly unusual, though. Oh, that's right. I have no awareness.
What do you do if you have nothing for a thing? You just no dice?
Well, I have wits. I was just a lovely 2 dice.
I mean, I would make the call. I'd have to look at
One
I'm
success.
not exactly sure in the book where it is, but I mean, I would make the call that you would roll at least one hunger die.
Oh well, yeah, of course.
1 success.
One success? Okay. You actually see one of the other harpies. You notice that he makes his way over to one of the other angels.
Michaela?
Vincent has come out of the shadow. The Master Harpy. A rather gaunt Nosferatu. Most people, or at least of the Toreador clan in the city, don't appreciate that a Nosferatu holds the position of Master Harpy, but for some reason he always knows what's going on. So he has held his position, and Grand Papillon seems very pleased with his with the execution of his duties. So he's been sticking with the Angel.
Do you actually spit? 'Cause you just made that.
No.
Okay. I was like,
No.
I do like kind of wave your smoke from my face a little bit. I'm like, do it outside or something.
It's for aesthetics.
you know, lung cancer is usually what people associate with
We're
now.
kindred.
I know, but I'm just saying if it's aesthetics, correlation-wise, I think most people, when they see cigarettes, they
some
think
people
where
think
I'm
it's
from.
cool,
I
but
mean-
going into my face and nose, I don't appreciate it much.
I'm just saying your white clothing's gonna look dingy and yellow. But you know what's cool?
Let her handle it. You know, that's her prerogative.
It's fine. Congratulations, he's wearing your design.
Oh yeah, it was. He looked sharp.
It looked great. I'm very happy with how it came out. I think there's a few things I'll change in the final design, but I think for its first walk out in the night, it's perfect.
See, she's in better mood already.
Oh yeah.
Problem solved.
I think Evelyn would probably want to go speak to Sigbert.
Sigbert? Okay.
And compliment him.
Sigbert is, he takes after his sire. Well, his great-grandsire, one could probably say. He wears the Herstadt family crest on his jacket, synonymous almost in and of itself with the Ventru clan. As a child of Herstad, or descendant of Herstad, he feels very proud of his position and, well, maybe a little acerbic. The fact that Toreador is currently the prince. This is at least what you've known of him in the past.
Of course.
As you make your way over, that attitude seems to kind of brim a little bit as his facial expression sours a bit from his conversation. He looks to them, actually waves them away as you make your way over. He coaches his glass. No, I'm not gonna do that. He coaches his glass
Not on the
from
laptop.
Says, Miss Priestley, what can I do for you?
I wanted to give you a wonderful thank you for being able to procure such a lovely location. You did a marvelous job.
Yes, I have several ghouls who have membership here, and all I had to do was have them all vote in the same direction a few times, grease a few palms. Well, we get the most exclusive location you can find in New York City. Much better than last month's nightclub.
I would have to agree.
Yes. Who was it that procured that? Oh, I do believe it was Miss Mitchell. Your clan keeps making such a name for themselves with these choices. It's a nice long sip of this Vitae Vino.
Well, Alice has her particular taste. I wouldn't say she speaks for us all.
Well, it had to be approved, of course. So, what brings you here tonight? Just here to enjoy the ambiance, as it seems court has once more been pushed to the back of the itinerary.
Well, of course, I've come to enjoy the lovely ambience and see my Grand Papillon and one of my new upcoming spring line designs.
Oh, so you were here to simply view your work in the wilds.
And of course, oh well, not just that, of course, but to be able to...
What were you looking for?
We both look at her with like panic eyes, Well, she was very interested. She like seeing Miss Priestley's like, look. She like kind of comes forward. She's like very interested to hear if anyone had news about like horrible things going on by the bridge. Just maybe someone had cleaned it up.
I had lost my train of thought.
There's a lot of bridges in New York. We know the Brooklyn Bridge.
Just everybody a little bit loud.
Okay.
I don't want to jack up the volume in the mix way too
No
high.
and then we deafen them later.
Then we
Yeah.
scream
And then
Yeah.
when you
to
actually
the top of our
speak-
lungs.
Yeah, you guys are talking a little soft, so just
Stage
bring the
whisper.
we
As-
don't have great Rode mics yet, folks. We're trying. we've got some decent lapel mics, but
Listen, my apartment looks sweet right now. I'm very proud.
Okay. Swear to God. Turn these down again. Yes, speaking full volumes.
Okay.
So we came to Evelyn's rescue.
The bridge.
As you arrive, yes,
Deep, like slightly,
it's not in my domain. I do believe that might be gangrel territory. That would be my guess, at least.
That's what I'm curious about.
I was actually more interested, besides the bridge, about the scuffle that's been going on in New York City. I mean, Times Square.
Oh, that's Sinbloods. They started hanging together and calling themselves a coterie and claiming. They even claimed domain.
A domain?
Yes.
Where did they get their gold?
Not just one, but two different groups were claiming domain. It's the vote was very simple. We decided no one got domain, and Times Square will be just from now on open. No feeding. No claiming of domain in that area. It is the prince's domain still, of course, as is the whole city. But no feeding in New York, in Times Square. If you rotate your lapel mic is kind of pointed away from you. That's another reason why you're probably a little lower.
I will also move it up.
Just wanting to make sure it's kind of pointed at your face.
It is pointed at my face.
They're not omnidirectional. They're corridor. So this is yes the.
How long did that go on for?
Oh. Once we heard about it, the next time the council got together, we ended that same night.
Of course. Swift action, as to be expected from such a wise council.
Oh, thank you. Let's make. There's been some social combating going on just now.
Socialness.
So I need you to make a.
Get 'em.
We'll say. You were trying to be nice. You weren't trying to manipulate him.
No, I was
so
trying
we'll
to-
say it's charisma.
Oh, very good. Okay, that's great.
And you weren't trying to convince him of anything, but you're in a good setting, so let's say etiquette.
Okay.
So it's charisma and etiquette
Wow, that's a lot.
versus his manipulation as he was trying to kind of subtly insult you and your friends under his breath.
That's a lot of dice.
And
I might need to borrow that one actually.
Not mine.
Yes.
No,
this
to roll.
We'll do against his etiquette as well. 5.
Three.
Alright, I got 3 success. 1. Uh-oh.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This one's
Five.
bad idea, guys.
Oh.
Those count as 4 now because I rolled 2 10s.
Oh.
I rolled 1 10.
That's
It's only
not
the
a critical.
doubles.
That only counts as 1.
Needs pairs.
It's got to be in pairs.
Darn.
So how many total did you get?
3.
3.
Ooh, those doubles.
This feels real life for me.
So that's
Crippling social
going to
situations.
be
She tried her best.
She picked a high tower.
3 superficial willpower damage in that exchange. Cut it in half because it wasn't an intense exchange, but you feel like he's still very confident about his station, and you haven't given him any reason to adjust his opinion of you or your friends.
Miss Priestley, he mentioned that it's a gangrel area. Clearly he doesn't keep a mental note of as much information as we thought. Maybe we should ask somebody else, perhaps of the Angel family. She kind of darts a eye at Miss Priestley and is like,
As that's happening, because she mentioned, because Siegbert mentioned the gangrel, gonna go over to speak with Kendrick, ask him about it.
They just disperse
No.
like that.
Yeah.
well, no,
What are you
she's...
gonna do?
Oh,
She's
Jesus.
setting that up, but that's one more roll because that was a big insult you just gave.
Oh,
So that's going to be your
oh, you
I know.
fighting? You fighting her?
Like, well, like Miss Julia's probably...
manipulation plus intimidation
Okay.
versus his composure.
Me?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no,
versus
this is quite
Siegbert's.
terrible.
And
Get him.
etiquettes. You just straight up insulted him. He wasn't trying to combat with you. You just socially attacked him. Is essentially the way it works.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So that was just a straight up
I can't
attack.
bring you guys literally anywhere.
I got 2 successes.
I'm gonna use my Kraken dice.
Out of my 2 dice that I had to roll just now.
Wow, though, what'd you get?
I only got 2 successes.
He takes a point of superficial
Oh!
damage.
Oh,
yeah.
Miss Priestley, let's go!
Oh, that was a good clap.
Jesus.
I rolled 7 dice and I only got 1 success.
That was intense. I only had 2 dice to roll. And
I'm
one of them was
sweating.
hunger. Ooh.
He looks stunned for a moment as you take her under the arm and take her away from the whole situation.
Bye now.
I didn't know you had such a viperous tongue.
It gets me in trouble. I'm sorry. He was being exceptionally. Just you didn't.
Well, honestly, I do appreciate he was being a little bit snide.
At the top corner of the screen, you see Siegbert will remember this.
I know. Oh no.
Oh no.
Listen, I said I was here to ask questions and get my ass in trouble. Job accomplished.
Okay.
Oh.
So you're leading me towards
Back successful.
I mean,
successful.
I don't know where the gangrel
Angel?
harpy was at the moment, but like she kind of just took you away.
Everybody together, if that's who you're all looking for,
Yeah.
you can make
I'm looking for Kendrick.
Oh yeah, he specifically had an
Was
idea.
looking for Kendrick. We are.
Ideally, I just wanted to remove her from the situation and then reconvene with a better choice in
shit,
mind.
That was my fault. Okay, so her name is Michaela Angel.
Michaela Angel.
Is the gangrel angel that you're.
So we are all
gangrel
looking
member
at
of
the same-
Angel
yeah.
family.
Okay.
Yeah, a gangrel adopted by a Nosferatu.
It's weird.
coterie.
It's
It's
weird.
weird.
It's weird.
But it happens. Let's see. Make it's another wits awareness test
For all of us?
for all.
Oh, for me too? To find Kendrick. Okay. Wits awareness. Okay, that's
1 success. I used my good success. It needs time to recharge.
Ew.
1 success.
No successes.
One success. Anybody who got at least one success.
Yeah, I have one.
Okay.
Both of you are able to pick out Michaela. She's actually, of all the gangrel in the city, she definitely makes herself the most presentable. She's kind of got a Jonah Jet feel to herself, like a.
Oh, okay. Work queen.
If Jonah Jet going to an awards ceremony kind of look. You know, her hair is done, but she's still wearing a leather jacket. You know, she's got one side of her head shaved, and she's got some tattoos going through. Nothing really particular, just kind of tribal through the hairline underneath. Oh, where the shave is. She's got several piercings in numerous locations, but again, they're not uncomfortable in appearance. They look like they belong. They're not gaudy.
Great.
Or anything like
There's
that.
some taste there.
They're
Very
very tasteful. She's probably the most, well, she definitely is the most visibly
presentable
and appealing of the angel family.
Right.
Seeing as the rest of the angel family are Nosferatu.
Streamcat.
Yay, Streamcat, say hello, show the beans. Oh, yeah. I'm healed. It's
Okay.
good.
Alright, I'll pay you later. She's got her.
She's like my appearance fee.
Yes, I need to pay her appearance fee. She is a published model. You find her, and she's currently getting some refreshment. She doesn't seem to be. She hasn't engaged in any conversation yet. She might just arrive. So, you see her off on the service table, getting herself a glass and kind of. And taking a sip. But she's actually holding it like a fucking, like it's a knife.
Like it's a knife. Yeah,
It's just a bald fist.
Nice.
And the glass over the top. Just. She's not the best at etiquette, but she does look nice, and and from what you've experienced, you know, she's actually a very pleasant conversationalist.
As we approach, I'm assuming you were guiding, but I open my mouth first.
Yes, she would be delighted if that was the case.
Michaela, you look lovely this evening.
Huh? Oh! Evie! How you doing? You looking good tonight?
Thank you, Michaela. Please, call me Miss Priestley.
Sorry, Miss Priestley. You get all... It's cute. Have you tried this shit? This is wild.
It's very interesting, isn't it? My Grand Papillon always has great taste.
I mean, I was thinking of going out and grabbing a bite later, but you know, these kinds of refreshments, I'm gonna hang out a little bit later. Let's make a drink.
Evelyn's really trying not to she's smiling, but behind that she's like trying really hard not to grit her teeth like a...
So she kind of leans in, she's like, so, what's the shit smell like this week? And she slowly...
Well, I mean, Miss Priestley already stepped on the toes of Seabird this morning, so it's a good day.
It's been a little bit interesting. We've been curious about some of the things that we've heard. I heard that by the Brooklyn Bridge Station there was some type of altercations.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Listen, my money, thin bloods. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Really, even with the scuffle in Times Square, you think it's all the same coterie?
Maybe different. I mean, they're all over the city now. No offense, of course. But ever since, you know, Pappy started letting...
Evelyn cocks a brow,
Ever since he made it so that thin bloods aren't a breach, people have been making them all over the place. He seems to be handing out rights to children like it's fucking candy. I don't get it. I wouldn't make that choice. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sure my Grand Papillon has wise meaning behind all his decisions.
Sure he does.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean...
If he makes a fucking decision.
She just stops in the middle of her sentence, just... She kind of, like, puts a hand on Evelyn, just, like, reassuringly. It's like, out of character, she knows about the alchemy, right?
She's heard rumors.
Her rumors, yeah, okay. They have to have some use. I mean, aren't you interested in all that weird fucking cooking they're doing?
Oh, you might be into that weird fucking shit that they do.
I
I
mean-
think it's a fucking abomination.
Yeah, but that weird shit is also how we have this delicious drink, so, I mean, there's gotta be something.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's good, though.
Well, if it's for a good drink, baby.
See? I think that there's gotta be something to it. I mean, I know we're quick
There
to...
is a difference. Listen. You know what? If I was talking to any other one of you people, I think I'd get a different fucking saying. But, I know who you party with, so we don't have to talk about what you think about that kind of shit. Listen, dude. Just want to make it clear. If you find out what's going on at Brooklyn Bridge, I'll say a good word, alright? I don't think, it's enough of our trouble. I mean, if they get sloppier,
That's a problem for
sheriff's
everybody.
going after them, but for now it just looks like there's a stabber in the sewers. Subway tunnels, what the fuck is down there?
What intrigues me is that that means either the Thinblugs are beginning to perhaps organize in some fashion, which is alarming.
I mean, that's not my department,
Of
but I'm
course
not gonna
not.
fight you on that.
I know that maybe the political happenings may be a little bit above your pay grade, but
Ooh, bitch. Listen, I gotta go. I got more important people to talk to. Waves, and she starts to head out. So we're gonna conclude that little altercation with a
Cat.
social.
Ooh, I like her. I like
yeah.
her. Ooh, gangrel
Charisma.
attitude.
Charisma etiquette for you.
How about you?
She's actually going charisma intimidation.
Oh,
I'm gonna need
oh
this
yeah,
is a hefty roll.
the big rolls.
A 0 is a
10.
10. It's a success.
okay. So I have 3 successes.
All right.
Are any of them double zeros?
No.
Okay.
No,
Now you have.
no superficial damage
7.
exchange.
Oh, that's 7. Okay, I thought it was a 1.
No damage exchanged. It was kind of a stalemate meeting. As she saunters off into the rest of. Well, she doesn't really saunter off. She's got a strut though. She's got more of a runway walk. She walks wherever she's going with some fucking determination.
If she has talent. She could be a model, but she just.
Miss Priestley,
Forget her.
I understand why I don't have any friends, but really, I thought this would be better for you. My God, you piss off everyone you talk to.
Soon you'll piss off me too.
I'm sure I did like 3 times this morning. I'm just saying, maybe try not to piss in every.
Morning, evening.
I mean, it's there. I mean, I don't
You're
think.
mourning the fact that you had to wake up.
Oh
Why am
no,
I
the
here?
puns.
Why am I here?
You live with him.
Oh God! Why'd you revive me? All right. I mean, she's probably the most down-to-earth person in this fucking place, and she's not gonna talk to us. I don't know where we're gonna find that information.
Well, we did find out some information. So think about it this way. Either all the Thin Bloods are beginning to talk to one another, or maybe make their own groups, and perhaps they have their own form of rogues. There could be some type of social divide beginning between them, especially if there's so many of them.
I mean, with the way they get treated, I mean, it's not like they have the right oversight. We have no idea. If we didn't completely alienate them based on the fact of that's just how they were, we'd have a better idea, but they're so far removed. I have no idea where to... how to get more information. I mean, do you think anybody else here would be more forthcoming?
I think maybe I might. Have we considered speaking to...
What do you think? What? That's a face. What's your thought? I mean, and by this we...
I mean,
what?
Me.
Okay.
Kendrick?
I'm going to talk to Kendrick.
We're not.
Okay, well,
Oh, I mean,
He split from us.
I know.
where the fuck? Oh, we lost Eddie.
You rolled nothing on your...
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
I
you were
probably
just wandering around the party. You
Oh,
couldn't
God.
find
Where
him.
is Eddie?
I should have tagged Eddie.
Where did he go? When did he leave? Like,
He's near you now. He's like, you see him walking up from a small group off to the side. He just kind of
where
walks
did you
around
go?
them.
I was looking for Kendrick. Couldn't find her.
His awareness. Him.
Him?
Him or her? Wait a second.
Your sheet says.
She. Sorry. Yes, she.
I couldn't find her anywhere.
I wrote them genderless at the beginning, so
I mean, it
I'm
doesn't
still.
No problem.
I mean, what'd you want to talk to her for?
Because we were going about the gangrels and the bridge and everything.
You were going to socialize for us?
Where do you...
No, that's sweet. I mean, if I don't have to do
Right.
it.
Well, Kendrick is,
I scoped the party for Kendrick.
Make a wits. I'll give you a 2-die bonus as well. It's a wits awareness check.
Okay, +2.
Oh jeez, yeah. So many dice.
I mean, this is her arena right now.
That's true.
Yeah.
So wait till you get into combat.
Oh yeah, then it's gonna be Dice City.
Wow, it's unnecessary. I have 4 successes.
All right, you spot Kendrick out right in the middle of everything.
She was right there.
Oh.
She's kind of standing
Oh.
by a table.
I miss her.
She's kind of tall.
Yeah, I don't
so
know
she's
how I
hard to
missed her.
miss. But
Surely, how did you miss her? Are you blind?
I hope not. I'm your bodyguard.
I guess we head over towards
um,
gracefully, nicely, not intimidating.
Kendrick sees you coming, and she just kind of pounds the rest of whatever she was drinking and stabs it into the little base on the table. Turns, adjusts her jacket. Ma'am?
Kendrick, it's lovely to see you this evening.
Lovely to see you too.
Evening, Kendrick.
Hi.
She gives you a fucking stink eye. She just kind of nods at you, but she lingers on Eddie for a few seconds. Squints hard.
He tried.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just not a fan of shovelheads. So what do you
See.
want?
Well, we were just coming over to have your pleasant company, as well as just asking you, what, have you heard of this nonsense about what's been going on at the Brooklyn Bridge?
Yeah. That's our stomp. Yeah. I'm trying to get a handle on who's doing it. It's been kind of crazy. My responsibilities taking me elsewhere, and I don't exactly have anybody watching my turf for me. I'm kind of worried, but there's a few thin bloods walking around occasionally in that area.
Has there been like a increase of thin bloods in that area, you think? Since there's been such a scuffle in Times Square.
Ever since the prince changed the rule, yeah, there's been an increase citywide.
Hey, you mentioned that your attention was elsewhere. Where would that be?
None of your fucking business.
I was about to say, Eddie.
Oh, well, I mean, if it's got to be something real crazy if it's taking your attention away from people making a fucking mess. And
You have to excuse them. I think they're just being very curious. We've all been a little bit.
Are we not allowed to talk at parties?
I wouldn't let you talk.
I was going to say something similar anyway. She just said it for me.
Stage whisper.
Celia just, her eyes dart between the gangrel butting heads.
Eddie, would you mind just getting us a few more drinks? I would prefer another glass if you could go grab one.
Sure, Miss Priestley.
Thank you, Eddie.
Just kind of skulks and gets some drinks. Takes a little while.
As soon as he steps away. I don't understand why you let that follow you around.
Well, that's not under my decision. La Grande Papillon just wants my safety.
She leans in. And she knows this doesn't have the same effect on vampires as it does on mortals, but you see her eyes glow red for a second, and you hear the rumble in the back of her throat. He killed our comrades.
I didn't hire him.
Kind of leans back, and her eyes revert back.
He was a gift.
It's a shitty gift. I don't care. End of the day, it's your problem. Just make sure he follows the rules. I haven't been able to get him to follow mine.
I've been working on him too. As best as I can, believe me. We're in a similar boat.
Start coming back with 2 drinks after downing a few. Just frustration.
Eddie, why don't you give it to, Delia and go get some more? Thank you.
Would you like one, miss?
Sure. And I just.
How about you, Kendrick? Would you like another
If
one?
you could just go get
Anything
some more.
else I can get you? You know, a little
Thank you, Eddie.
moist towelette or anything else?
She holds up a hand. She says, yeah. Like a box about this big. Filled with ashes. Like the ones I had to collect.
Eddie, please go get us drinks. Thank you.
Kind of like snarl and turncoat back away, getting just not even getting drinks at this point. Just
not being there.
just not being there. Clearly not wanted. Clearly not appreciated or for anything.
Again, I do appreciate you, taking your time to speak with us. I know Eddie can be a little bit difficult to have around.
Yeah, it hasn't been a problem lately. I still just run with that crowd once. I'll run with them again. Anyway, I've got other shit to do right now. Gotta go talk to the member of the Angel family. Make sure she's in line. So.
Michaela's that way.
Delia for a second. Goes to snatch the glass out of her hand. Does she resist at all?
Yeah.
Just grabs it out of her hand and walks in the direction of Michaela.
Pleasant people abound. This is a great place you decided we would spend the night.
It's all part of the show, dear.
It's exhausting. It's so backwater. I understand it's how it's done, but God, there's gotta be. You know how I feel about this.
It's just a while longer.
We should check on Eddie. Wow, they were absolute cunts to him. He's not that bad, I know. I mean, I have a slight idea,
And
but
I don't really know about his personal history with Kendrick as much, but this is not the place for it.
apparently it is. Gestures at like where she went off to. Being so nasty, openly hostile. Eddie hasn't done shit, or at least not since I've been on your payroll. You live such long lives, you're bound to piss off everybody once or twice.
Eddie's pretty easy to find amongst the party if he's not.
We wave him
trying to
back.
hide actively.
No, I'm not trying to hide.
Okay, it's easy to find him. You just follow the smell.
And like we kind of like wave him back over a little
Just
bit.
like a roll of the
Yeah,
eyes,
like,
walking back
yeah.
over. I'm sorry about how rude Kendrick was. You know, it can happen. You know, us Gangrel, we get a little feisty a little bit, but you know, it happens.
I kind of laugh at the idea that you were gonna go off on your own to try and speak to her. How do you think that would have went?
I think it would have gone just fine. Would have had a bit more of
Really?
Well,
Like fine in the somebody needs to get the broom way, or fine in the
not that way. No, I would have been fine.
Mhm.
I just had a few questions, and she was clearly
Fine.
not interested in listening to me. That's fine.
I mean, you guys seem to have a bit of a history. I mean,
You should maybe inform us next time.
I'm sorry that I'm not the best with everyone. I'm sorry that
No one's the best for everyone.
Well, yes,
It's Elysium. It's the whole idea.
I know, and I'm trying to being upstaged by a lot of people.
Well, if you had just worn the suit I designed for you, maybe it wouldn't be so difficult. And maybe if you wore a suit, you could speak to Kendrick, and she'd appreciate your effort.
No. Kendrick appreciating me in a suit, she'd laugh at it. Even if it was yours, she would laugh at it just for the mere idea of it. Ugh.
Just like,
The party continues.
Question. Can vampires get drunk? Like, what's like a alcohol tolerance?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, you can if somebody's inebriated enough, but the blood itself has to be the intoxicated.
Okay.
You could drink, like with Iron Gullet, you could literally drink isopropyl alcohol, and you're fairly sure you'd be okay.
that's hardcore.
You wouldn't be affected by it. But if you drank
From a person who
was drunk,
then you would get the effect.
that's where the whole blood resonance thing comes in. It's more
Okay.
about the state of mind and the state of being that the person you're drinking from is in, rather than actually putting chemicals into your body.
All right. I was just curious.
I think we're finding out some great information. I mean, if I'm honest with you, I can't say exactly why the Grand Papillon would decide to...
Let the thin bloods run around. Let them exist.
that.
I mean, what I said earlier isn't wrong. I mean, there's gotta be something there. Just because evolution happens. They gotta have something, otherwise they would have just died out, right? So, I mean, I'd love to see what they've been coming up with, because,
What do you mean, what they've been coming up with?
Eddie, maybe you might have heard about this, but they've been cooking up ways to compensate for what they're lacking.
In what way?
Explain more.
I'm guessing no, you haven't run into them at all?
No, well, not really, no.
Oh, you know I wouldn't have.
Yes, I know. Snow
Wow,
White and
what
your
a,
beautiful
what a
slippers.
surprise.
I mean, you know, they've been. Rumor has is they've been able to. It's not blood sorcery. It's not like what we're doing in like my house, but maybe more slapdash. They're able to create temporary boosts with their power they don't have, just to be able to on the fly knock that shit back.
Like power in a bottle?
I mean, it's
Like
drugs.
kindred adrenaline.
Yeah, like so if they're able to kind of figure this out on their own,
Steroids.
if they were brought in
You
and
know
act
about the
properly.
copycat stuff.
Okay.
You know about the copycat stuff
Yeah.
mostly.
Oh my god, I don't know how much in character, out of character.
You know about the copycat alchemy.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
definitely what you know about
Good.
it. If you know anything, it's that.
Okay.
Alright.
I mean, they're not being supervised, they're figuring this out on their own, but if they were taken in and actually had structure, what they could make might be worth notice. That's why I'm so interested, I have to say, and
I think
considering...
what alarms me is that they're actually starting to gather, which means in some way they're all connected to be able to speak to one another, which means there's something going on with a greater organization.
That doesn't sound like something they would just come up with on their own. It's like Thin Bloods can come from so many places. It's
Yeah,
just like
Well, Thin Bloods are young. They're very young. And they probably have some of the talent of modern kids.
The kids these days, Grandma? Is that what you're going for?
I'm sorry, what did you call me?
Sorry, it's just the white hair. You've had it like that for so long.
Says the, you look like you came out of the dirt with him with the bones around your neck, so I wouldn't talk.
Oh, I offended her. Listen,
I mean, I'm not that offended. I do come out of the dirt a lot.
that's fair. You do.
But
Made me lose my smoke.
And you know, you've been around me enough, Miss Priestley. You know that I have to put on a bit of a show. The other Tremere, they treat me a little bit better if I indulge them with their interests.
I'm aware, and I'll have you know that this is my signature.
you know, monochrome.
It's
on
been
the
in
range.
for about...
For millennia.
Is it a trend then?
I mean, like, you know, it's
It
not.
was
it's-
popular in the 60s and it's still popular now.
It's like, you know, it's not technically a color. It's more like a light
I
thing.
think it's a value, actually.
Yeah,
Yes.
that value.
It's not even a color.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Everyone just
Fucking art. Fucking
She's the
theory
fashionista.
I like how you two were talking about it more than her, though. That's what's confusing me. But go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. Well,
It's like she
Just a
probably
little-
has like a dictionary in the bathroom. It's not like she goes to the bathroom, but sometimes, you know, if someone comes over, it's just there. That's her light reading.
anyway, I don't know. I feel like if these Thin Bloods are supposedly organizing in some fashion, I feel like there must be some other influence, whether it's another clan, maybe someone with a special interest in them. Maybe, I don't know.
Can I consider my court politic knowledge and see if there would be anybody who would be?
Actually,
I will
Miss-
allow an intelligence politics check.
Not gonna get a good one from me, so.
I need the.
Oh, you need the
While
big.
she's assembling that die pool.
How isolated are we from the other groups of people
Well,
rolling
speak
around?
in a low enough tone. Also, the rule of Elysium is no powers.
Well,
Oh,
Wow.
No getting noticed
Well,
with
that's
your
already been
powers.
broken because Kendrick's doing all like. Oh
um,
no, wait, no, that was Michaela.
No, it's Kendrick did
Oh
that.
no, Kendrick did do
Yeah.
that. Okay.
6 successes.
Oh, you know
6 out of
everything.
6 out of 7.
There's a lot of reasons why full-blooded vampires would show interest in Thin Bloods. Mostly because of their ability to kind of weave in and out of the Masquerade.
Right.
So long as they don't break the rules. Because technically the elders and the more clean cut, because uptight, but the more clean cut Camarilla members don't want to accept them into vampire society. They're thin bloods.
Yes.
But at the same time, they need to apply the rules to them, because if they start talking and start showing things off,
Then they're breach.
then it's a breach of the Masquerade. But do the rules apply to them, or are they part of society? You know, that kind of an argument and conversation starts to become the major discussion. So, clans take advantage of that.
The loophole.
The loophole. The fact that they also can, that they can spend more time awake and than anybody else. They appear human for the sake of biological inspection.
And would there be any consideration that, they could be used as groups of lackeys to do errands for people?
Oh, that's very possible.
Why not just have ghouls then?
Because they can go around. Well, here's the thing, Eddie. When it comes to these thin bloods, they can wake up maybe a little bit earlier than us and go to bed a little bit later than us, which makes them passable by today's standard of human society. So they could be like carrier pigeons or something.
Also, a big benefit is that ghouls need to feed on a regular basis from their... They can technically live almost forever. Ghoul process slows aging. Thin bloods don't need to feed from vampires to remain to remain young and to remain powerful. So it's less of a hassle, less of a maintenance kind of a thing. You don't have to offer your own blood from your own vein just to make sure a lackey will do what you want. So long as they follow what you want them to do. Maybe you just have to bond them.
Interesting. Would she know that, kind of? Or is that maybe out of her sphere?
Bonding process.
You rolled really fucking well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So this is the stuff you've heard from the political vine of like how they would be used in society and the reasons why they're valuable and the reasons why you would also not want to admit them to, like, thin bloods aren't coming to Elysium.
Nope.
It used to be, now I mentioned it before several times, the prince changed the rule. It used to be part of the tradition of embrace. You would need to get the approval of the prince.
Right. But he's handing out licenses.
He still maintains that. But, used to be, if you were of the 14th generation, you could not embrace anybody. And if you were of the 13th generation and you made a 14th generation, they would be hunted by somebody that you know in the city known as the Scourge. They're a bit of a vampire boogeyman to a lot of people. They go around and they are free to commit final death upon any vampire that is within their purview. Kind of the Judge Dredd of vampires.
Got it.
Grand Papillon lifted that part of the tradition. So now, you've got 14th generation vampires, you've got 14th generation thin bloods, you've got 15th generation thin bloods. Normally 14th was never seen as able to create another vampire, but it's kind of these dusk walkers, these thin bloods have become a thing. And no one really knows why. It's one of the few declarations that Papillon made without the council's approval.
I mean, there's a lot of political reasons.
darling, move your hair off the microphone.
Oh.
It's just maybe moving it to the other side,
Yeah, it
so
was-
that way, like, because you're always kind of turning it this way. So,
I'm
like,
enjoying this
no,
short
like,
hair
actually,
life
like,
today.
No, like, no, I mean like moving it to the other side since you're leaning this way.
Oh yeah, if you're more inclined to.
Oh, no. It's not set up to be on that side.
Oh,
It's set
okay.
up to be on this side.
Yeah,
All
keep
right.
that
All
side,
right.
Keep that side, angle it in.
All right.
Therefore,
Audio
it shall
spoken.
remain.
Stay there. There you go. But you know the 15th are infertile.
Okay. I was just about to ask that question.
No, they can't make
Like, they are super not able to make anything.
Yeah, it's questionable. This wouldn't be under the purview of your role whether they are capable of even bonding.
Got it.
There's a bunch of things that thin bloods can't do.
I mean, let's consider this. If they keep creating more and more thin bloods, and thin bloods are creating thin bloods, we have separated ourselves from them and drawn a line in the divide of society, in our society. So perhaps I worry that either people will be melding and molding that political interest in potential new group for their own purpose.
Being the first to adapt to a new resource wouldn't hurt you none. Celia kind of just like, if we were to have that information quicker, it might be impressive to those who are
Evelyn
interested.
just like waves her hand. Not here. I told you. Your information resources. We don't talk about
She
that.
just looks confused. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm just saying that if you were to get information about what these thin bloods are doing and offer that to those who are very hungry for that information, it might make people look at you as more than a dressmaker. I know that's important to you. I'm not trying to sass you. I'm just saying it's not just interesting for me. I think it's useful. And you mentioned, you know, why are they getting together? How are they getting together? She kind of like just sees if anyone's floating by and waits for them to kind of pass, and in a hushed voice, she's like, I mean, you know, there's been word about the broadcast. If anyone was to maybe have an affiliation or not have that worry about being associated with Thin Bloods, it might be people who have more information about.
We should just be very careful about where we stick our noses, is my concern.
If you're not willing to risk anything, you're not going to get anything.
I feel like,
No one says you can't risk anything.
yeah, what are you putting on the table?
No, but Evelyn kind of smirks.
I don't know what you.
Look, I don't know what she means either.
Thank you. Okay, it makes me feel a little bit better sometimes.
Dave whispers.
Sorry.
I don't necessarily have to do the work. Maybe I hired somebody for that purpose.
I accept your money because you're supposed to have a purpose yourself, Miss Priestley.
But if you don't have a political reputation to uphold by being right next to Le Grand Papillon, perhaps you could look into some ties with those Thin Bloods.
You know I have no problem getting my hands dirty for the right cause. I'm just saying some people are more likely to listen to you just because of who you're next to. You know how they look at Eddie and I.
Talk about the information you got.
Everyone make wits awareness checks.
Ah, my
Wits
favorite.
awareness.
Ugh.
Very popular role.
Yeah. Glares at character sheet with.
That's a cola 3.
No successes.
1 success.
Ho ho.
One success is enough.
No success.
It's okay.
You're
been rough.
invested in this conversation.
Mhm.
It's the other two who hear the voices starting to be raised. On the opposite side of the room, Seekbear is currently arguing with Le Grand Papillon.
Of course he is.
Miss Priestley, and she kind of we'll finish this conversation later, but she kind of gestures to bring her attention to it. Oh.
Looks like your grandsire's having a bit of an argument.
Just as you look over, you see Le Grand Papillon with a swiftness that you rarely see amongst mortals. Open hand slap Sigbert across the face.
If we were to kind of make our way a little bit closer, would we be able to hear?
The music stops.
Oh yeah!
Because the sound was that of a thunderclap.
Evelyn, without even you mentioning, slowly walks towards it.
He
On the side of Grand Papillon.
holds up a hand, actually, as you start to even make a motion in his direction. He holds up a hand.
I do want it.
He points at Sigbert. He says, "Never again. Elysium is closed. All of you out." Turns and starts and just marches towards a rear exit. The sheriff of the city,
Jesus. Anna.
Anna Marie, she steps up and from her position of about to jump the prince position, knowing her clan loyalties, she seemed to be almost defensive of Sigbert. She relaxes a little bit, walks over, says, "By the decree of the prince, this Elysium has ended. Go into the night. Remember the traditions. Don't fuck up." She kind of looks around the whole room. Lights! She holds her hand up and all the house lights come back on. The ghoul servants are really fucking confused, but several of the attendees start ushering them around.
I'm quickly just trying to grab a drink before they all scuttle away. I'm like,
I'm assuming she gets her coat given back to her.
Does it seem like anyone is having was anyone around closer to the incident?
Well, we're gonna have to find out that
Oh, break time!
after our intermission.
Oh, yeah, let's go with some shit, yeah!
Alright, so I'll return ourselves to our
wardrobe
game,
change.
a Vampire 5th Edition Overture on Nocturne. Tonight's episode, I guess we could call this now part 2 of our nightly dance Macabre. Elysium has just come to an epic screeching halt. It's arguable whether the prince broke the rules of Elysium, and it's also kind of confusing as to if the prince can break them and not have to suffer the consequences. Or was it a breach entirely at all? Because, well, vampires, they're so hardy.
Is that damage?
They're so resilient. Would that be considered true violence? Or was that just aggressive verbal interactions?
An accent point.
It's a very
Flourish.
It wasn't a slap, it was punctuation.
It was very-
as the Toreador
it was
would say.
it was very bold sign
I mean,
language.
you're not wrong.
Very bold sign language.
The sheriff and the sheriff's coterie are ushering people out. Kind of arms out, like ushering people along. Anybody who doesn't work at the location should be exiting now.
I don't know what just happened.
I mean, what do you want to do? Do you want to go, or?
I'm not sure Le Grand Papillon is in the mood right at this moment to have me talk to him about what just happened either.
Yeah,
But it doesn't mean that I can't speak with him in the following eve about what happened. I just hope he's alright. He seemed aggressive.
He seemed rather not alright.
It's been very few times in my life that I've seen him move with such ferocity and speed.
No, he's still got it going on. You know, he was whoosh. He was.
Thank you, Eddie.
I mean, I don't know if anyone noticed this, but Anna looked much more inclined to make sure.
I noticed as well, which was interesting to say the least, especially with her position.
Speaking of which, she's still ushering people out. Are you just kind of milling about the dance floor, waiting for somebody to physically remove her?
No, I would say we were probably slowly walking together as a
kind of
yeah.
moving the group out.
Yeah.
Okay. The car has been, once you exit and back out into the light rain on this October night, your view of the park in front of you is actually rather beautiful. Lights playing off the falling rain, giving life to the leaves. They almost dance underneath the droplets. Since it's obvious that it was ending, or that it had ended, all the cars have been coming out. You can see Daniel standing next to the town car, maybe half a block down, still in front of the building. It's a long building. Still in front of the building, holding the door open and holding a hand up to get your attention.
We walk over, we
I
need
think
you guys.
yeah.
We walk over to Daniel.
Yeah.
He holds a hand out to let you into the car. Says,
Thank you.
Where to, Miss Priestley?
I think we should just head back to my abode.
Back home.
I
Very
mean,
well.
Unless you have...
how late in the night is it?
It's only maybe 1 a.m.
Oh, Miss
You know.
Priestley, we could find something better to do.
You have, at least by what you can recall, at least 6 hours worth of
You got
I'm-
dressed nice.
Well, where are we going to go that I can... I don't know. What do you have in mind?
Your coat is covering the microphone, by the way.
What do you have in mind?
Oh, girl, showing that shoulder.
Oh,
Yeah, get sultry and drop the shoulder
Yeah,
off that
yeah,
side.
yeah.
There you go.
there.
Nicely done.
Be a torador.
It's my natural form, truly.
The Century place, like, where are we in New York compared to some of like the landmarks? How far are we from the bridge, the park, etc.?
You are about halfway down Central Park.
Okay, when you say the park, it is Central Park. That
Yeah,
we're like.
it is
Okay,
Central Park. You're by one of the entrances of Parkway Drive.
I start to think about really nice, expensive bars in the area that are like prestige.
You know, if you're thinking of a social club rather than like a nightclub.
Yeah, a social club.
Okay, there's a few. You're fairly sure that you might be able to pull a few strings. And there's a garment district social club that you're aware of that you might be able to get the group in. The Gilded Thread.
I mean,
Well, there is a place that I think we could go to, but I can pull some strings to get us in, especially for Eddie. But
I appreciate
it's the
effort.
garment district, so they, fashion.
listen, Punk was in at some point.
It's grunge. There's a difference.
I've never met such an elitist. individual so invested in the grunge movement.
It's very niche and specific. The formalities.
Okay.
You know what?
Daniel,
I'm getting this from her. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm getting it from her.
Can we get in the car? And I'm already in the car. Like
I'm just like
saying
we're
this
just
from
standing
out-
in the drizzle, like
I'm already have been in the car.
Daniel's standing next to the door, just holding it open for the rest of you to get in so we can close it.
Delia just like crams her purse in her arms and just like squats down into the car.
I'll just get in after.
I mean, is this maybe if there
Closes
are
the door and heads up to go jump into the driver's seat.
some? Would you know any places in the area of maybe by Times Square, the blocks surrounding? There's got to be some clubs there that maybe we could do some double duty. You can
Nightclubs, but we're not going to a nightclub.
Well, I'm just saying if we were to maybe see who's floating around the area.
I'm beyond sure we'll probably bump into somebody at the Gilded Thread. It's a nice club. A social club.
Would I be welcome there?
The car pulls away from the curb and starts making its way to the Gilded Thread.
Sure. You'll be welcome because I'm there.
Alright, fine.
Oh, the life debt we owe you.
I saw that.
Anyway, the Daniel is one of the rare drivers in New York City that actually gives a smooth ride.
Thank God.
Well, you have some pretty good. You have some pretty good money behind yourself, so you're able to hire the right people. So no jerky stops and starts. A smooth ride throughout the city. That odd kind of almost tunnel vision as you can kind of look over Daniel's shoulder and see the road through the small window.
So what I was trying to say earlier in Elysium, I know I'm not as hip and cool as some of you younger folk.
You think I'm cool?
Wait,
Yes.
you think I'm younger?
Well, honey, not
Thank
in
you.
looks, but...
Oh. Wow.
I'm sorry.
You know you did hire me to protect you, and it's very good your money doesn't have the same commentary your mouth does.
You've been quite fresh tonight, too, so that was a good whip back.
That's fair.
As fun as this all is,
Wait.
don't threaten her. Just saying.
I'm not sure I threatened her, but I'll keep that
What
in
my
mind.
point was... Keep on task, please. In regarding to gathering information about the Thin Bloods, I meant I couldn't be seen poking interest and digging my nose about that. But feel free to go investigate on my behalf and let me know some of that information for me to, of course...
Look good with?
Yes.
Is that
It was one of those rare moments where Evelyn actually went, yes.
She actually, like, Delia
laughed
actually
a little.
laughs in the moment. She's like,
Yeah,
listen,
she's like, yes.
I understand that you're worried about tarnishing your Lily image, but the thing is there are some things I could find for you in less traditional means, but a lot of it is the word of mouth, and not a lot of people want to talk to me, and I think you know why. So when I say sometimes, hey, can you find this? I'm not doing it just to
And I
push
get
the work
that.
off.
But the political landscape for me is,
Complicated?
complicated.
Oh,
It's
Unusual.
quite
so?
complicated.
If you want her to look for info about these Thin Bloods, because it'll save some face for you.
You can also look for info on the Thin
Okay.
Bloods.
I
'Cause
wasn't
know
sure
you
how.
two both have very different means of gathering information. And
Right.
I don't
as
have enough time in my booking schedule.
So, like, if I'm like, I can just go off and do some stuff, you'll be fine for a little bit?
I'm sure. You know that I usually work on my designs when I'm not busy at a, gathering, a runway show, or fashion week, or something.
Alright, I just want to make sure, because like Grand Papillon pays me to protect you.
I know he does. I'm Eddie, it's been quite a few years. I'm very aware.
I know, I'm just reminding you, because if you let me go off, and then something happens to you...
It's your fault.
Yes.
I know.
I know, it's not a great situation.
If it's any consolation, I'll always be able to track her as long as she keeps, for about a week or so, I'll be able to keep tabs on her. So if you do want that extra peace of mind, if you have something you need to attend to, and you're not sure where she's gallivanted off with, you can contact me. And she kind of fudges through her purse and pulls out her smartphone. And she's like, you do have my number at this point, right?
He like pulls
Like,
out like a flip phone.
Nokia flip phone, yeah.
Yeah.
Evelyn just like
bird's eyes.
Yeah, no, you're in here.
Okay.
You're in your car. So
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
like you're in public.
Okay, kind of type that.
She just doesn't like it. Just the video games.
He makes sure it's in there. He has to press the button
Yeah.
3 or 4 times to get to the letter that he needs to get to.
She gets to know him just like flip, 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 flip. I know, it's terrifying, isn't it? Flip, 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 flip.
I remember when
Puts it
everybody
away.
just talked to each other by sending actual letters.
Yeah, well, I tried to talk to somebody in their face, and they didn't like me very much, so it's a lot easier, you know, when you kind of just press the numbers sometimes.
I don't get it.
As she's going through her phone, she stops for a minute and is like, now that we're out, I mean, we were also talking about people who may have information about the Thin Bloods and their networking. She kind of leans over and shows Eddie the podcast form.
Oh, it's that, what's that? I don't even know what he is. The Barlow? Is that his name?
Yeah.
The one that thinks he knows what he's talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, you've listened to us? Okay.
I've listened to you talk about it. I haven't, of course, I wouldn't
yeah?
listen to it myself.
She kind of like looks at her and just like obviously enjoying the tsundere moment. I mean, if we were able to find some more information.
He seems to know about a lot of stuff in our society. It's kind of creepy how much he knows.
I mean, isn't that the currency of everything right now?
Yeah,
it's kind of the Nosferatu way. They're good at gathering secrets.
Yeah, them and them damn harpies.
Well, I mean, the Angel family's got a great monopoly on it right now.
Yeah, great.
I have some thoughts on Michaela, but...
Useful ones or just slander?
Perhaps more of the slanderous variety.
Oh.
Oh, I miss Michaela. Oh.
They're not vampires, they're saspires.
Saspires! Saspire! Wow, old commercial. I'm okay, I just showed my age, it's fine.
You you arrive at the Gilded Thread. It's actually has a pretty large storefront to it. It's a first floor on-street establishment, but you do know that the upper floors are reserved for select clientele. People can walk in and patronize the more common bar area, but there is a social club setting.
Because this is the garment district, does this let me flex my fame? Like, would I walk in, people be like...
Well, we had discussed that your fame...
is within the...
yes,
fashion.
but you don't reveal your face. Remember, you were like Sia.
Oh, that's right.
That's why I pull up the articles for you, and so you can kind of still appreciate.
You have your fame, but it's by name and by reputation. And part of the reason you don't let people see your face is so that...
because they can't tell that I'm never Asian.
You can always cycle out into somebody else who has a faceless, designer kind of concept. Because there's always somebody pulling off some kind of weird, one name, nobody knows anything about me, Banksy maneuver.
It's New York. It's
true.
Very common.
So if you
would they notice that I'm wearing...
They might
Evelyn
notice,
Priestley design.
You know what, they would notice that you're wearing a Priestley.
Okay.
But that
would be my next.
Yeah. Daniel.
Opens the door.
pulls over, like he's in. He's not in the parking lane. He's in the farthest rightmost lane, and he just puts the hazards on, gets out, walks over, opens the car door for you, blocking traffic.
We get out. I kind of lift the tail of my dress and coat a little bit so that they don't touch the street, and we walk over to the Gilded Thread.
Kind of give.
Are
the
you
rest
following
of the
me?
coterie following?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Kind of give Daniel a thumbs up, just like keep going.
Also, Evelyn.
He gives you kind of a confused.
Okay. And so we approach. Is there a bouncer or anything like that at the door?
Not at the door at this part.
Okay.
There's to the back. You know, the social club has.
Just follow me. I know where to go.
All right.
You weave your way. It's a very warm kind of library feel to this location. Mostly hardwoods, bare woods with some stain maybe is their aesthetic. A lot of impressionistic art on the walls, but mostly involving either a thread, a needle, a bobbin, that kind of work. Very thematic too. The idea of the gilded thread. It almost feels like an old, the old rooms that two Englishmen would argue about the plight of Africa while they sit next to a globe. That kind of a sitting room with pipes and stuff. It has that vibe mixed with
modern,
kind of a modern bar feel, and of course, fashion. So it's a very unique location. Talk of the district, and towards the back.
That's the entrance. That's the real entrance.
You recognize the bouncer. Goes by. Everyone else calls him Johnny. He likes it when you call him Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Miss Priestley?
Would you mind? I brought some friends in today. They'd like to join.
Gives a look over Delia, just kind of nods a little bit. It's the fashion district. People wear weird shit. So you're nowhere near weird enough to faze him. Eddie, on the other hand, would have to be a performance artist to be taken seriously in the garment district.
You should see the way he dances with a shovel. He's fantastic. And she winks at him. She goes, "Thanks, Jonathan."
Thought you weren't gonna talk to people about that.
Your burlesque act?
Not burlesque.
Just kind of shakes his head as he hears that and unclips the velvet rope. And
Evelyn nods,
pulls it back, and then reaches over, opens the door, and there is a lush carpeted staircase leading up to the second floor. Narrow, like most stairwells in New York City, but it's got a beautiful patterned wallpaper above paneled wood accents that leads you up into a beautiful sitting room area. More of a smoking lounge feel. Beautiful chairs, cushioned.
And is everybody mortal here, or is there maybe...
It's a mixy.
It's a mixy. Okay.
Would we know what territory we're in right now? Whose coterie?
This is the personal domain of Le Grand Papillon.
Which means I'm
technically the whole city.
Super allowed here.
Technically the whole city
is his domain.
Is his domain, but this is part of his domain that no one else can claim.
Because it's beautiful.
Okay, Evelyn. It's nice. I like the wood.
The conversation is light. It's a soft murmur. Nothing obtrusive. There's no music playing, but you can hear the warm crackle of several fireplaces dotted throughout. Knowing that the owner, being kind of on the know, has them appropriately covered so as not to rile any of the
other guests.
more flammable patrons.
Incendiary.
There's even a potbelly stove off to one side. The bar, there's a single personal bartender for the whole floor.
I have another question for you, I'm sorry.
Sure.
Because I am a faceless designer, does that mean half the room knows exactly who I am and half the room does not? Like mortals do not? The
Mortals
vampires do?
definitely do not. Vampires would.
Would. Okay, got it. Just making sure.
Are we like, are all of us public figures in terms of the vampires? Like, are we known, or
I mean,
mainly
most
just her?
vampires know of other vampires in the city.
Yeah, but it's regarding my fame.
Well, yeah.
New York is one of the rare cases where vampire faces are not as well known, just because of the population density and how many vampires can live in New York and get away with it. Normally, you don't want to overpopulate an area with too many vampires. It becomes a masquerade problem and a feeding problem. There's 18 million people in New York City, outpacing states and countries by itself. Just the simple island of Manhattan. You have more vampires in New York than some like entire city populations elsewhere.
Is the entire state under La Grande Papillon's?
No.
Okay,
No,
so
it's
it's
all
just
of
the
your
city.
Yeah.
It's populations. Domains tend to focus around population centers.
Okay, how do we define New York City then? Like, is it?
Boroughs.
The boroughs.
Okay.
The boroughs, yeah.
Okay, I was curious because
Although
Staten
nobody
Island.
cares about Staten
I
Island.
was to say, is anybody even in Staten Island?
No
wow!
one
The
cares
Thin
about
Bloods have Staten
Oh,
Island.
just give the Thin Blood Staten Island. It'll be fine.
Fine.
Oh my god,
Shade.
that's terrible.
Wow, we awful.
Yeah, well, we all live in New York, so the New York shade is real.
I meant the Thin Bloods, but sure.
Yeah.
And New
that's it.
Yorkers.
So, we enter. I'm assuming there's probably some nice love seat.
Oh, there is some fantastic seating.
Great.
Cushy, relaxed.
Love it. Fantastic.
Make a wits politics check, everybody.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
Uh,
Well, hey, at least I have one in politics, but I got the hunger. We all have the hunger still.
Man, I need a
You all have
fat
one
roll
hunger.
case for this
Yeah,
one.
you need a fat roll.
man, it's the same as my awareness roll.
Yeah, it's not great. I need to share. Got one.
Yeah, I got
Two.
one
Okay,
success.
let me do a
2
roll.
successes.
So that's a none. That's a no.
And the hunger die wasn't a 1.
It was a 1.
It was a 1.
Oh,
It
Jesus
was a 1.
Christ.
So
It's a 1 with
that's,
no other
that's our first
successes.
bestial failure.
Oh, no.
But since it was a passive check, I'm just gonna kind of pocket that and remember.
Oh, that's worse.
That's scary.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pocket that. and
Oh,
remember
boy.
that for
Oh.
later. You see,
Oh.
Storyteller will remember that.
yeah. The way it works is that instead of a blood pool, vampires now have a blood. They have a hunger rating, and that hunger rating is represented by every time they roll dice, they replace one of their dice with a hunger die, and that hunger die has different results on it than a normal die. So on the one side, it has a bestial failure. So if you roll no successes and a 1 on the hunger die, you activate the bestial failure. Now, like I said, it's a passive thing, just kind of looking around. I'm going to hold on to that bestial failure. I
Oh,
may
boy.
use it later. Next time you fail at something and I decide it's a good time to have you
Really fail.
not be okay,
Eesh.
we're going to go into that.
Okay. What did you guys roll?
2 successes.
One success.
Okay, I'm just...
Making
Sorry.
sure the stream is still going.
My laptop has been having internet connection problems, but that could be because of the laptop.
Well, the stream's not up, so I can't keep an eye on it.
No, it's still going.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just like little
Still live.
us going on in the background.
That is themes. There it is.
Yeah.
There you guys are. We're still doing really good on frames.
Cool.
Oh, good.
121 for the whole night.
Oh, that's
Wow.
nice.
It's a very good frame droppage. We've had
Yeah.
troubles in the past. Thank you, everybody, for giving us the heads up. Okay. As I was saying, So that bestial failure will come up at a possibly inopportune chance.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna fix a lighting problem.
Oh no.
I got duct tape in my purse.
Oh no, what
Of
happened?
course you do.
Here you go.
Oh no, the lamp is
Oh
falling.
wait, hold on.
it's
Hold on, I got feathers. I took
What is going on in your purse?
What is going?
Yeah, we'll play that out. Her going through her purse and pulling random things out.
Well, I don't need anything from my purse right now. I gave you my
Is
duct
your
tape.
purse actually that cat bag in game?
Well, okay, so
I
I
thought you
Hold on,
like, is
hold on,
that
hold
it
on.
is
Pull
actually.
it up just so they can actually see what it is.
so this is her purse in game right now.
It's got little ears.
Mostly because so I had a bit of an incident and something spilled in my bag. And the street corner was selling, and this was the cheapest bag. So it's probably some knockoff of something probably better and more expensive, but it was only like $3. So you can't be mad at me, Evelyn. You can't be
you want me
mad.
to make you a bag?
Can it be waterproof on the inside?
We can work on it.
A utility bag would be great.
I'd make you a good-looking utility bag.
I'm okay with that. That sounds nice.
Want
I'm
me
not against it.
Okay. Evelyn actually's like, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could want some cool buttons or something. Some bands.
It would be sleek to match your glasses.
Or a button's not cool. I don't know. How do you feel
Buttons
about
are
buttons?
fine.
Oh my god.
It
You know, you get 'em,
represented
like, you know,
interest
like-
or something.
You don't need to talk to me about what buttons are. I know what.
She's just
No, I just want
reapplying
to know,
some.
like, if you what's your take on buttons?
I don't know. They're useful. It depends on the look.
I don't know.
They're good for like.
Would
You know,
you put buttons on your bag, or would that insult you?
It's a little impractical to have buttons on a bag.
It's-
Snaps
it's-
would be great. A magnetic
I think
snap.
he means buttons like
Like-
bands.
No, yeah, like little pictures or little symbols. Not like a button.
As you sit down, what is your? As you take a seat, what is your? What's drawing your attention?
Are there any? Can I sniff out any beautiful model men in the room? Yummy, yummy.
I mean, you don't feel the draw of hunger yet.
Just a scope. I have an eye for fashion and eye candy.
All right, make a.
Are you gonna need a big one again?
Yeah.
While Miss Priestley is looking for personal interest,
She goes into cougar mode.
while she indulges her inner cougar, Julia's kind of looking around. She's kind of going to enact sense the unseen and just kind of make sure that the location that they're in is as it seems.
Okay.
I'm sorry. What was the role that you wanted me to make?
The wits awareness. Just
Wits and awareness?
check. Yeah, my internet on my laptop is absolute garbage.
Oh, just the Wi-Fi in
It's the
general.
Wi-Fi.
No.
It's because we have a lot of things connected to the Wi-Fi. It gets really prickly about that.
My my notification hub crashed.
Full 4 successes out of 4.
Ooh!
Oh, she's gonna find some boys.
Wow.
Complete.
No,
full
it doesn't.
success.
It doesn't make a thing that isn't there, so to
Mhm.
speak. Oh, there's a few. They're not. They might not be models, but there's a few. The bartender isn't bad looking.
What does he look like?
He's 5'11", sensible, modern haircut. Something short, but not too loud. He's wearing the vest and tie combination required of the bar, and he's also got those sleeve ties.
Ooh.
Helps kind of accentuate the bicep a little bit underneath his button up. As he goes about
What color is his hair?
making cocktails.
Christ, this is getting very weird very fast.
This is a very important question, very important detail.
Brown.
Okay.
Okay, not.
Wow.
Wow,
Wow.
indeed.
Just wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this bleeding? Is this pigeon cuckoos? Too much inner knowledge.
Now, aside from boy watching, oh almost said Lanira. Delia.
Oh man.
Detect
pass me your
magic,
compact?
okay?
Delia, may I just borrow your compact?
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
There's no feathers on it. It's fine. I checked.
Double check.
Little bone dust, maybe.
The powder is not the powder. She spilled something earlier. It's fine. Just don't lick it.
So,
Just don't put it in your mouth.
you don't sense anything too supernatural about the area. You do see that there's one thing stands out, and that's on the front wall. You see that there is whoever works here is paid off, and there is a ward against something. You're not sure exactly what. Make an intelligence occult check. You see it just beyond your senses. You can see the bloody runes carved into the wall that don't show to anybody without that sight.
Five successes.
There's a ward against lupines.
Are they considered to be active in the area or no? Because we've been hearing rumors, but I didn't know if that was.
You don't know. You just know that there's a ward against lupines on this wall.
What's a lupine?
Rawr.
Oh.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, you currently
You want to lure
sit-
out boys with candy?
I don't need
You
that.
currently sit in the lounge of the Gilded Thread. Relaxed, reposed, everybody giving you your...
What is that?
space. Hold on a second, I have to wrangle a cat.
Is she behind the television?
Oh no.
Hey.
Oh no.
Oh, she's trying to find her boots.
Streamcat, no. Streamcat.
Shriek
She's
Cat
trying
went
to sabotage
wild.
the stream. She's like, you're not paying attention to me? Oh, I see how it is. Oh.
Going to cat jail.
Which is my shoulder?
Yeah, like, wait a minute. I feel like that's...
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
Oh, I don't know if I got on camera. She was
No,
looking
I don't think
herself.
so. Oh.
She's like,
Oh.
Oh.
She's pouting. I could
Yeah,
literally
she
see
very
that.
clearly is like,
Dad.
you're not paying attention to me. Where's the air? Oh, it's right next to you. So if you want, I can, if you give it to me, if she goes over here again.
Yeah.
Oh, she's looking Sean like that. It's hissing in a can.
We do it out of love.
Cat hiss in a can.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, generally seems like nothing, no one's actively doing anything bizarre.
Yeah,
and-
but you do know there are ways of oh, you can hook up your Wi-Fi. And you can connect and discuss things with people if you need to from here without having to
Yeah.
socialize in person. So if you wish, you can look up information that way.
Yes. She's kind of actually gonna curl up on the chair, her phone,
Okay.
and just start.
What is she looking for? And who is she contacting?
So
Evelyn just ignores.
slowly pivots towards sexy man. While she's going through her phone, she's actually going to call up her contact that's been helping her ascertain certain podcasts to see if there's like a forum or anything that has been active.
Okay.
'Cause we know he releases.
Are you contacting somebody directly, or are you just looking yourself?
Well, if she can find it herself, she would definitely prefer to always do as much as she can on her own before asking for help. But she has no qualms reaching out to that particular person if she finds nothing.
Okay. All right. So to look by yourself, I need you to make a wits technology check.
It's
Alright.
one better than
Believe.
my awareness. So actually,
Yeah.
3 successes.
Okay. All right, 3 successes. You're able to search through some of your regular, illicit search engines. You're not just a Google it and hope for the best kind of person. You end up making your way to a unlisted site kept off of most
Dark.
search engines
We're using Onion.
in an area of the dark web. It is a oh crap, an RSS feed.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, that's how they're keeping low profile here, and it discusses trading the Barlow podcasts about. And what are you specifically searching for? You found a place where they talk.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, anybody who's on using like this method, they're probably smart enough not to be discussing like who they are. Does anyone maybe hint about locale?
It's like 8chan.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna pull from this without a little more direction.
So you're looking for ways to figure out his broadcast location? Like where
If
he's
anyone's
located?
rumors about maybe where
Alright.
he's located
You-
from, because he does move
You find
around.
a lot of talk of him being super mobile.
Yeah.
He never broadcasts from the same. Like they've tried pinging off the signal, triangulating in the actual like milliseconds of feed delay, kind
Yeah.
of microseconds of feed delay. Tried the most tech savvy know that he moves. He also broadcasts off of AM Rebel Wise. Like he
Okay.
actually hijacks an AM radio station to broadcast.
Okay.
And he does that. To do that, you need to be close.
That is actually quite valuable then, because then that means, okay.
But you also notice that he notifies everyone here when to tune in, because he changes his time and channel.
Yeah.
And you see a few posts from Barlow, and with just date, time.
Is there a certain
Channel.
consistency to when he's always going live in between?
Not really. He keeps it rather random. He keeps it
Yeah.
changed up enough that it's not
Predictable.
easily trackable.
The
else?
next does it say when the next broadcast is going to be and what station?
Not yet. He hasn't made a
Okay.
broadcast about that yet. Anything else you're looking for? I mean, are you trying to get in touch with him? Are you trying to find out, like, just finding out where he broadcasts from is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Are you trying to find out other rumors? Because they're also talking about other shit.
Okay,
They're
that's
talking
really
about the stuff he's talking
Okay.
about. It's not an RSS feed just about how do we find this guy. It's an RSS feed literally
about the shit
everything
he's talking
he does.
about. All right, so
So,
going through the forum
It's a full
threads.
topic.
Yeah.
It's a full topic thread it's not exactly labeled appropriately, but you know the right
Yeah.
people to get you connected.
Are there certain like pillars of the community that are more outspoken than others in these forum posts?
Nobody in the community is making themselves known
Yeah.
as who they are. Barlow is the only one that does it, but he's the
Who knows if that's even his name?
Yeah.
That's, in the general threads, are there any like local rumors? Because this is a New York local
Yes.
broadcast.
Yes,
What
that's
are
I'm
people
saying.
kind
What
of
are you
talking
What
about?
are you looking
Are
for?
anyone talking about the Thin Blood scuffle at all?
They're talking about how there are a lot of thin bloods in the
Yeah.
city that
Is there any maybe name of the two coteries that were fighting in?
they don't really have names. They just know that they're new on the scene
Okay.
and that they might be connected to local gang activity.
Okay. No mention of what gangs generally, like, is it MS? Is it?
No.
Okay.
Not really. Like there's just the speculation that humans are involved as well.
Okay.
That it's not just Thin Bloods dealing with this shit. You're keeping that off the radar, so to speak.
Okay.
Or at least
Not really discussed.
the more open forums. This place is hard to get to.
Yeah.
Any other topics specifically you're looking into?
I mean, the gangs are pretty handy. Would I know, like the hospitals that are in like that area?
I mean, there's no insane asylums or anything like that.
No. Like what the main hospitals, the closest hospital to that area that would maybe take care of like gang related like injuries or oh no. Okay, wait, I figured it out now. I know what I was trying to think about.
It's not like hospitals have specific like we only take gang members here.
Well, no, but Delia makes her money with her skill set in the medical field, which is maybe more along the lines of patching up like ghouls and stuff like that. Would she also have any idea of like maybe off the not official hospitals, but places that patch people up in
mob
more
doctor style contacts?
Yeah, the criminal
You
scene.
really don't have those. She makes some money on the side with it, but it's mostly with vampires.
She looks up and stares at Eddie. She gets up, sits down like right next to him with her phone.
Can I
Kissing their
help
toys.
you? She's off having a smoke break or whatever.
Is that what she's calling it now? as she's like cougar staring down the bartender.
I believe it's called eye fucking.
What's up?
So I was thinking, would you maybe know anything about like anyone in the scene of the gangs in New York? The rabbits.
Not the movie.
No, not the movie.
Okay.
I mean,
well, not to be. We're being discreet about this. We're doing like, quietly between ourselves.
Yes. That's why she like got up and like actively was like, "Hi."
Hello.
Hello.
Well, maybe not necessarily. I don't know much about Thin Blood gangs, but general
because they're it looks
crime,
like
perhaps
the Thin Bloods might actually be involved with human gangs.
Do me a favor and make
Do I get to make it with my
manipulation etiquette checks?
Who, me?
Yeah, both of you.
Okay. Do I get
See
anything?
how loud you're talking in this
What?
quiet.
No, but we sat
We
down
said
like
we
I
were
asked.
being
sitting down next to
quiet.
each other, but you're also both not exactly social like
Okay, fair.
people.
Okay.
That's
okay.
fair.
You
We
said
are
The
the
volume of your voice
Yeah.
would be.
It's hard because
And I'm like sitting here like elegantly smoking a cigarette.
gunning down with your eyes.
Yeah.
You said
But you guys are right next to me like
You said
I don't
manipulation.
even know. Well,
Wits?
manipulation
Mhm.
plus etiquette.
Etiquette.
Etiquette. Where's that?
The whole bunch of not having it.
Oh, Annie. Oh
I'm
well.
rolling too.
Here, you can roll first if you. Oh, you're using that one. Okay.
One success.
One success.
Okay.
oh thank Christ.
Oh
They're
man.
keeping their voices low enough that
It's not too much of a
other
problem.
conversation, but you're still a little annoyed that they're kind of talking shop
Guys,
so
Please.
openly at this location.
be careful. We are in mixed company.
We're only talking about criminals. Everyone has criminals. So anyway,
I keep mine in the wicker basket on top of the
It's New
refrigerator.
York and roaches. Everyone has them.
fine.
Just
Should
keep
we
things-
go off to a room or something?
I mean, do you have like a table here? Considering
Are there like sitting like really intimate
Booths?
sitting like booth or sitting areas?
You're in like it's small, like a small table central to like a couple of armchairs, maybe and maybe a fainting couch, and that's dotted throughout the room. There's maybe like 7 or 8 little clusters of seating for people to kind of relax at. There's also some standing table height furniture. There's also the bar area. It's It's a rather open room. But
So
you do
people
have
pretty
these,
spaced out.
People are pretty spaced out, but there's
Okay.
you also have these dotted fireplaces. There's like 2 in the center and 1 along the wall. The way they're set up, like they're those like circle in the floor fireplace that has like a dome around it that has a chimney flume going straight up into the ceiling. It's that kind
seems
of.
like a fire hazard.
I'd say they were smart, but you know that's kind of like what they are. It's the way
It's
it's set up.
aesthetic.
All cast iron looking fixtures.
Yeah.
Would you prefer us to go off to the side a bit? To just shut up?
Just keep it down, okay?
Okay, we'll keep it down. So anyway,
We got yelled at.
criminals. I might know some. Quietly, I'm saying, because of stage whisper. I'm trying.
See, you threw
No, I
me off.
understand.
Okay.
That's what the roll was
Sorry.
for.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
what the roll was for. That's why I was just making sure.
I may or may not know some unsavory folk.
I mean, whoever runs around in the area of Times Square, like if you could figure out what gang is prevalent there, maybe we could figure out through that who some of the Thin Bloods are in that area.
Would I know like of any local mortal gangs in the Times Square area based on my criminal contacts?
You know a few. You'd be able to get in touch with some street level captains if you needed to.
Okay, so I could like track them down or give them a call.
You either have their phone number or you know who to get their phone number from.
Okay, so Eddie will look into that to try to find out some more information, see if they know anything about potential Thin Bloods.
Any
or
like
just
weird
any suspicious activity.
Weird things.
Because they wouldn't know what Thin Bloods are or anything about the kindred, but obviously if there's some new thing going on, then
any
figure it out.
weird drugs maybe?
Maybe
New
weird drugs. I'll ask them. I will figure that out.
Weird drugs? What? I'm sorry.
You can't have nice things.
I will look into it for you.
Thank you. I think that actually might get us some decent information.
Yeah.
I don't know how well we're going to function, and she kind of gestures like at all the people socializing in front of them.
She waved at the camera. All those social people out there.
Yeah.
You, the folks at home.
Yeah. Like a telephone. We might be able to apply ourselves better in this fashion.
All right.
Your chain gets caught on the mic. It's
my.
Occasionally, yeah.
Hold on,
no.
let me try and shimmy it towards this side.
I thought that was some euphemism. Your chain got caught on the mic.
Yeah, let me.
It's popping. The
I
mic
bought like
occasionally.
special glasses for her, and they have those little straps for them in the back, and just get tucked up behind my ear like an old man.
It's just tapping into the mic every once
Sorry.
in a while when you lean forward.
Okay.
No leaning.
I'm leading.
Got it.
All right.
Mystery solved.
So, are you gonna, do something with the bartender over there, or are you just gonna keep eyeing him down?
I'm not really thirsty.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm all right. We had a good
He's
amount of
cute.
that drinks from Elysium, so I'm all right.
Did he see me staring at him?
He's
Here and there.
uncomfortable.
Sexual harassment calling human resources.
I wasn't
Like-
staring at him the whole time.
No, but
Not
he's
like-
like he's aware of what his job should be and how he's supposed to execute it, and he's not supposed to make himself a fixture. All right. So are you trying to get in touch with some of your gang contacts?
Yes. I'll try to, whether I call them or find who to call, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. You know that gangs tend to not hang out near Times Square because of the fact that
Population.
there's literally a
Cops.
station right there.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a post right in the middle of Times Square. They got better places that they can do their business. But the vampires, the Thin Bloods, you'd heard about maybe a couple of gunshots going off in Times Square. Somebody getting caught off to the side.
Is that almost borderline like human news to hear like gunshots go off?
It was definitely human news.
Okay, I was about to say like gunshots going off in Times
Bystanders got
Square.
hit.
Yeah.
Oh snap!
Wow.
There was news in the recent past. You saw that a video went viral of somebody getting.
Well, I didn't.
Well, she didn't see it. Maybe
Somebody getting clipped. You've heard it through the channels, though. Somebody getting, there was actually gunshots at Times Square. I thought Giuliani cleaned up that place. You can still watch TV.
Okay, cool.
It's the broadcasting.
Right.
Receiving information is usually not a problem, but anything where you got to sign up, give information, blah blah
No
blah.
Netflix.
Problem.
No
But you got
Huluween.
yourself some TV.
Oh, Amazon Prime.
Also, your jacket is over the mic as well.
Son of a bitch, guys.
Wardrobe
I'm
malfunctions
so
everywhere.
sorry. I can't have nice things.
Sorry, we are fixing it. It's the fur. Ditch the jacket. Ditch the jacket. I know it looks beautiful.
Just shimmy
ditch
it off
the
of one
jacket.
shoulder. Like take
a
one
shim.
arm out of one shoulder. Like one armhole.
I know you're all about the aesthetic right now, but for the sake of microphones and the popping of microphones, please remove said garment.
Fucking Tories.
Happy.
Okay. Now that we have that settled from chat, that was the biggest conversation that had been happening the whole time.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Message a few friends about, people who have been hookups for you in the past.
It's not quite as fast as your phone.
Oh yeah, you have to come double.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Hi. Sam.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
1,
a
2,
slow
3, 4.
process.
1, 2. No. Having to hit. 3
Thank
to
God
4
you don't
taps
die.
for each letter.
Thank God you're immortal.
yeah.
I don't
All
always
the
die.
time.
15 minutes later, he sent out about 2 texts. Rather quickly. From one of your drug contacts.
Mm-hmm.
Get a message saying, yeah, there's been some real weird there's been some weird additions to the shot callers in the gangs recently. Not just in one. It's almost like there's been a change up in the upper management of a lot of gangs in the city lately.
Interesting. Is there any way to meet up with any of these new folks or get any more information? A place to go? Perhaps? iMessage?
We can work on getting you a safe house, maybe. But showing up to somebody's safe house is kind of bad news. ... Bad news.
I understand that. I would still like to approach. I'll be discreet. ...
You'll owe me one.
That's fine by me. Trying to figure some things out.
You got it. Make
Oh.
yeah, we'll give you a 2 die bonus. Because you'll add your contacts level actually.
Yeah, so that's a 3.
Yes, you're adding 3 dice
Mm-hmm.
to a charisma. Politics test.
Hey, I got one. Okay, so I'm adding my
Aw.
3 to that.
Feelings. I feel that.
Take one out. Hunger. Oh! I got the 2 10s, and they're good. They're both good.
Ooh,
So
That's
I got
So
2
4
zeros.
successes.
that's
So
4 successes.
4.
When you roll a pair of 10s,
Yeah.
they each count as 2. If you roll a 10
Yeah.
by itself, it only counts as
So altogether now with that makes 5.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Ask the right man.
Don't fuck it up now, please.
You get a message back. All right. There's a bar. In Brooklyn. They might be able to get you something about the Thin Bloods. You go and talk.
So
he doesn't.
Oh, okay. I was
you
like,
might
well,
be able to go find out about these new movers and shakers if you go to this bar.
thank you very much.
It's the Aces and Eights bar.
Look at us
Okay.
writing notes. So nice.
I mean, you're writing a lot more notes than me. I was just like, it felt relevant to me that I should write something
fair.
down because
No.
you've been writing down so many notes.
I'm just that's who I am as a person.
Okay. That's what you have information of now. It's around 2:30 in the morning. Since you have begun this kind of conversing.
Evelyn's just been enjoying relaxing and everything like that. She's not like irritated at your work or anything.
Vampires are good at just not doing anything.
Yeah, like she's just been standing around looking nice and smoking.
Enjoying
and
other people looking nice.
Yeah.
Miss Priestley.
Hmm?
I know it's it still just happened tonight, but are you not? I don't know. I don't know if we should be more concerned more concerned or not about Le Grand Papillon.
I mean, of course I'm concerned, but composure, Eddie, composure. It's not anything that we're gonna be able to necessarily find out at this moment. Regardless, I need to talk to Le Grand Papillon, and Papillon, he's.
You're trying to talk up composure, and he slapped someone. That's
it would have taken him something grand to get him there.
In character, would they know that Sigbert isn't really a fan of the way he's...
I would know that.
Yeah, but for our characters and stuff, of how he's running the city. Like, is this a very known thing kind of thing because of the Ventrue issue?
Yeah, I would say that...
like, how common is that knowledge?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that him and Sigbert don't get along. I mean, that's nothing new to anybody who has any inkling of what's been going on. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm obviously, because I didn't really dress up for it, I'm not, so preppy about Elysiums and everything. But even that seems a bit extreme. Am I crazy?
If I'm quite honest with you, I haven't seen him move with such ferocity in a very long time.
It was impressive.
Like, would I know a previous instance of when he would have done that? Like, exactly, move with such,
That's not his...
That's not his normal. No, I know it's not his normal, but...
No, you know that he's a strong vampire.
Yeah. And I know that for sure that slap hurt. Very much. And that's not his usual way of being. I mean... I don't know. He must have said something to really go Papillon.
I mean, there's a lot of people who aren't a fan of how he's running things, and if I'm honest, I actually think he's doing a good job at keeping the peace, considering. I mean, but that might be something he needs to watch his ass over.
There's some things I agree with and some things I don't about the way he's been running things, but regardless, I mean, Sigbert was clearly a viperous at the tongue tonight, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just overstepped his bounds and said something quite offensive.
Have to be quite offensive.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie, did you find anything, by the way?
Oh, yeah, they told me about some suspicious activity. They said, a lot of their gangs have been, getting sort of almost like a rebrand of a way, where they got, some new people in charge around. They didn't specify, but they told me that I could go to this place called the Aces and Eights bar. Apparently we'll find something out there. Maybe we'll find out who's running these new gangs.
Did they mention what was suspicious?
No, not too specifically. It just seemed like that they were new. They kind of just, and it's not. But it's not just one gang. It's
a lot of them are getting
a lot of the gangs.
And they've all had their leadership opposed?
Mm,
Supplanted?
I suppose, like, the higher ups, they said, they got
I mean, that's more
changed.
impressive, I would think, if you
That
just all of a
is.
sudden...
Yeah, if to have, like, a whole bunch of gangs all suddenly get new leaders
Maybe
and
there
all
was
still be kind of okay.
something I'm very something I'm very familiar with, which would be compulsion involved. To maybe convince others to
Step
retire.
I mean, if we're gonna go to this bar, where is it?
Where is the bar?
Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn.
I didn't. Sorry.
I mean, it's a little bit of a ways away for tonight.
I would also say maybe.
It isn't that far away.
No.
I would also say maybe you will
come by car.
stand
I mean,
out.
maybe we took a subway with you.
Maybe
Think of
not
public
the
transit.
best. You look like a princess, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. But in a Brooklyn bar, you might look out of place. As out of place as Eddie does in Elysium. You're walking into his Elysium.
Well, I could run home and change.
I mean, I have a pair of pants in my purse. That's it.
I'm wearing a dress.
We could like cut it.
You could
No!
do it,
Shirt?
Are you kidding me? This fabric is like
could
almost $2,000 a yard.
you could do that thing where you tuck the dress into the pants.
If you went back to your apartment, changed, then to get out to Brooklyn, you're fairly sure you would not be able to get home. Well, one, you'd be getting out there around 4.
Oof. No.
Yeah.
No. What time of year is this? Hell no.
Yeah, what time? Actually, what time
It's,
is it?
it's October. It's
Okay,
Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah.
But still.
So it's like 6:37 is when you guys are starting to get a little roasty. So
Can we just buy something on the way?
Everyone kind of.
you guys don't like if you want. Again, you don't have to do everything in one night.
That's
This
true.
Yeah.
Okay.
This campaign can happen over many nights. You don't have to cram everything into one campaign.
I don't know. It's like you said.
I
like,
would have to dress properly
One
for
campaign
it.
night.
Yes.
Sorry.
I mean, it's like you said. The prince, he's had a night. Clearly, maybe we just all need to mellow out a little bit.
Evelyn nods. Yes, I think we do. I mean, I was enjoying myself while you guys were off with the whatever.
Yes, the pulls it out. It's like flip.
She pulls her phone and just starts spinning her feed.
Thank you. Put it away,
Scroll.
please. I've told you, really, not in front of me.
Aggressive scrolling.
It's like pulls out the antenna,
Oh my god.
Evelyn just
puts it away, just like.
She's used to this mocking.
put it
Loving.
away.
It's loving.
All right, so I'm all down for sleep. Just chill, just whatever.
Wonderful. And like, I guess because I'm not gonna wear my jacket, I just. Whoosh.
Yeah.
Go find Daniel. Ugh.
Daniel was basically circling the block.
But she kind of winks at the bartender slightly, like, she's walking around. She's like,
He, all right, goes back to. I think he was probably pouring between 2 bottles, refilling a bar bottle.
cool. Alright, I assume we pass by Jonathan and everybody, and Jonathan, thank you.
It's maybe 5 to 10 minutes before Daniel comes back around. This is a high-end driver. He waits within range. He circles the block until you're done. He spent the last 2 hours driving around, basically
What a
passing by the front.
sweetheart.
He's being paid well, and
That is not
you
good
are
for the
you are
environment.
requesting old style, like normally you
Driving etiquette.
You'd message your driver normally to be like, hey, meet me out front, like the way you would message an Uber or something, and the driver would, wherever the driver was, would come and pick you up. Now, with the way street parking is and everything, it's kind of impossible, but you can keep circling the block. So, you end up seeing your town car pulling up, and Daniel, again, takes up one lane of traffic, puts the hazards on, goes around to the door, and opens it for you.
I enter, of course. Nodding. Enter.
Unless there's anything you guys wish to do in particular.
Not for Delia. I mean, she might keep an eye on her phone to see if there's any, like, changes in terms of the Barlow situation, if there's going to be a new broadcast. But that's just something she occasionally just checks her phone for.
What did you say, what was the name of the place we're at again?
Golden,
The Gilded Thread.
Gilded Thread,
Gilded
thank you.
Thread. Yeah. And what was, like, across from it? Because I know from the Century Club was, like, the park. But from here, is it just, like,
there's more,
streets and things?
There's the fabric.
Oh, yeah, the garment district.
Yeah, we're in the
There's
garment
district.
Okay,
So
okay.
This is one of the oddities in the garment district. Normally, garment district, it's all fabric sellers.
Fabric.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it still, like, drizzly out?
Yeah, it's still a light drizzle.
Okay. Too rainy to go to any other kinds of parks, so he'll go in for the night.
Okay. You all drive back to Evelyn's. Well, it's not a brownstone. It's a nice complex building. Her flat is absolutely beautiful. It takes up the space of 3 other apartments, and it has a terrace garden.
New York City, guys, come on, like that's.
Yeah, you have to put that in perspective, everyone.
It's one of those mid-floor terraces too, so it's not like you're not all the way up there, but it's that nice. You still have your own, area to yourself.
Shed.
Modern with a retro flair kind of furniture.
I would say mod 60s. Lots of black and white.
Black and white, very geometric.
Lots of those circle chairs. Coolest thing.
The egg chairs.
Like the
Yeah.
enveloping with like the little stem.
There's a few of those in there. But you also each have a haven sleeping arrangement in that location.
Because was nice enough to put one together for you guys.
Okay.
So generous.
Thank you.
You all head to your, whatever it is you decide, chic, clean, monolith-looking style.
Beautiful. It's black gloss on the outside with white, beautiful, like, carpeted inside.
It doesn't have to be a coffin, but you still,
Oh, no, I just meant the room.
The room is the coffin. You misunderstood.
Gotta think bigger.
It's like a safe room, pretty much, where she sleeps. So there's a bed inside. Eddie is taking up his normal.
Eddie goes out into this open terrace garden. You had the little shed out
In the
there.
rain.
In the rain, yeah. You got a few little plotted rows of various garden vegetables and all sorts of things, and he kind of gets to a certain plot where he's got one of those what were they called again? The little covering.
Just a tarp.
Just like a tarp over this one patch of dirt, and he kind of just lifts one side of the tarp, kind of just slips on in, just like a whoosh, kind of pulls himself under the tarp, and just covers up the tarp.
Nice.
Eddie sleeps in the garden in a hole.
Oh, it's just in the dirt. It's
There's a box in the dirt as well that you kind of crawl into.
A planting
as well.
box.
Yeah, it's like a planting box that you flip upside down, so you got definitely no lights.
Nothing suspicious here.
No corpses, just a
And where do you
big old hole in the garden.
I mean,
It's very comfortable.
Julie does have an apartment of Miss Priestley, do you mind if I crash in one of your guest spaces tonight instead of heading home?
Sure, I'll take you to this room. You go down, opens it up, and it's just white. Everything except for the pillows on the bed that are black.
Is it just like in the middle of the room, like just an empty room?
No,
or
no.
like...
There's like a dresser.
Okay.
There's I would say there's there's the main beautiful lush
But
bed.
it's a windowless room.
Yeah, it's
with
a windowless room
with a sealable door.
Yeah, and like the bed's like that 60s like circle. It's like a circle bed, but it's a nice. It's like it doesn't look cheap. It looks very very lavish, and all the pillows are black.
As long as you're not touched by sunlight.
Yeah.
You technically.
But it's beautiful.
Can sleep anywhere, just so long as you're not touched by sunlight.
Yeah.
Living on the edge.
And if there's like little accents, they're in red. Like something.
Yeah. We're consistent with your
Wow, color,
motif.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks. Splurging on me. I appreciate that.
I hope you enjoy.
It'll definitely be more than enough. Thank you. And she's like stepping out of her stilettos and just kind of tucking them to like one side and like looking kind of lonely and out of place in the room. She's just like, okay. Puts her stuff down. It's like, I guess.
Sleep well.
Eddie did not change whatsoever. He just went to bed in his clothes.
In his clothes.
Oh
Into
no!
the
I mean,
go.
in case you didn't realize, he did swap out shirts after not having to wear the button.
She knows. She just didn't say
Yeah, the
anything.
tie.
I imagine you stripper just grabbing the shirt and just being like, just be like, I
Staring
fixed
at the
it.
back
Yeah.
as he pulls it forward off of him.
It burns.
You know those like
So-
nightgowns with like the feathers all over it?
Oh
Of
my
course
God.
she does. Of
Yeah.
course she does.
It's like 5 feet behind me for
Is
no
it
reason.
is it black or white?
It's white, but my nightgown
So
is black.
you all bed down for the day, sleeping in your sealed locations. You are able to avoid the sunlight. In the morning, you wake, and now we're going to see if the beast stirs as well.
Yeah.
Roll a rouse check.
Hey, first
This
rouse
is
check.
the basically every morning in Old Vampire you had your blood pool, and every morning you'd have to spend a blood to wake up. Well, now
That's a 6.
that counts.
Yeah, success.
Oh, but Delia's
That's-
hungry.
Ah, 9. Thank God.
Delia got hungry.
She got a 4.
So now instead you roll a rouse check, and it's a 50-50 roll. You roll a
Success or not?
a success or not, a 6 or up, a 6 or higher. Is a success. A 5 or lower is a failure. If you succeed at the rouse check, the beast stays complacent, satisfied. If you fail, you definitely feel the beast coil around your insides and kind of yearn for blood. So Delia is now at hunger 2 as she rises for the night. I cannot see any of these updates because my computer is not updating anything, so I don't even know what's happening in chat.
But thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I can't watch chat because my laptop won't connect to the internet. Oh yeah, it's completely disconnected from my Wi-Fi.
Oh no.
Yay, my Wi-Fi is kicking me off.
I mean, you're welcome to use my phone if you want.
No, I'm alright.
Okay.
It just won't connect. Alright, I have to do some Wi-Fi fuckery later. At least we're still broadcasting.
Whew, okay. That's good.
That's good, yeah.
That's important.
The next evening, the rain hasn't continued. It probably rained throughout the day, though. But at night, clear skies, but you still have that fresh smell of freshly fallen rain, and you're in a nice area. So there's some trees, so you get that, what's the term?
Dew.
No,
No,
it's an actual term.
Smell.
Like,
It's something with a T. Tetracore? No.
oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a specific smell of just finished rain.
Not like ozone, but.
Rain on Earth, I think it's called, of some kind.
Tertiary?
No.
No.
That's a
I-
color.
No,
It's just color wheel
Yeah,
stuff.
that is.
tertiary just
Tertiary is-
means
Look,
third.
look, I'm not,
Yeah.
not an earth science person. I don't fucking know.
Wow, my Wi-Fi, the phone the computer's Wi-Fi is terrible right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it dipped out.
Anyway, This is going to be difficult doing the... Oh, no, I can look at the chat on there. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
On my computer, I'll be able to do the...
Do it like a
the
Bond
giveaways.
swivel.
It'll still be good.
Maybe it's because we have so many visitors.
But in the morning, you are greeted by some unsettling news. There's a package for Miss Priestley at the door.
Do you get it, or do you have like someone to do that for you?
I would probably have you grab it just in case it was something, especially after Elysium.
Yeah.
Eddie.
You gonna wake me up from the dirt?
Oh no, you've woken up.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
I
already
wanted to see her go like knock on his
like
door.
pull up the tarp,
Knock
be
on
like,
the flap?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Okay.
shakes the tarp.
I think it might be best if you grab that, just in case, and
All
probably
right.
open it too.
All right. So go over there, just for safety's sake. I'll take the box. Like what kind of box is it? How big is it?
No, package. So
Package.
It's a document folder.
Oh.
Kind of like a bubble wrap style
Yeah,
envelope.
yeah.
A bubble
Okay.
envelope.
Go like just like.
It's
Slice it open.
pictures.
Wait, don't. Give them to me first.
Delia's kind of
I thought you
walking out of
wanted me
her
to
room
check
onto
it
this.
Yes, but it looks like there's pictures. I don't know. I
What-
don't think those are dangerous.
Oh, well, I mean, Delia kind of looks over to see if she has senses any. Wait, let me look at it too. Wait.
I'll just like
Sense
I'll keep
the
them like
unseen?
in the
Yeah.
package, but like not like take them out yet. Like
She's go.
Sense the unseen.
Yeah, see if
Make
there's
a,
any wards or.
Wits occult.
use your magic, vampire magic.
Yeah, it's vampire magic, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. But then I take away 2.
Yeah, now you got that double hunger now.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes?
Spicy.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Isn't it? Oh yeah, 4.
Yeah.
There's nothing there to speak of.
Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure no one had. It's fine.
Go ahead. Just
I'll check out these photos since you.
You see some glossies of Grand Papillon.
Just like
In what state?
Wearing
Not
Headshots?
speaking
okay, but they're photos.
with an individual. These look like PI photos. It looks like he's speaking with individuals.
wait. I need to look at those photos closer. Please.
Yeah, I'll like pass one along as I'm like just flipping through them.
No,
like,
give them to me.
All right.
Don't upset
And
the
so,
princess.
like, I flip through them. Can I use my
So
knowledge
Grand
of
Papillon
politics?
talking to some people. I
I'll
don't
let
know.
you,
Really,
I'll
she
let
kinda-
you do a politics check.
Going nosily.
Politics and
Wits politics.
okay, that's a 4. Need a big.
Oh, you need the big boy.
Yeah.
You should just keep that.
Roll for chaos.
Oh, what? Whoa. Whoa.
These are great sounds.
How did you?
happening.
She okay. All the good dice, all 5 of them are all 1s,
Except the hunger,
except the hunger
which
die.
is a 5. So I failed.
But
So
yeah,
it's a failure, but not
A
a
bestial failure.
You have no idea who they are.
Oh, damn it.
They look like it's several different people. 2 people in suits. Well-dressed men. One of them looks middle-aged.
Are these
maybe.
Polaroids?
No, prints,
Oh,
glossy
glossy
Yeah.
prints. Okay.
some nice stuff. Go to Adorama.
With a is a nice, well tailored Italian suit. Talking to the Grand Papillon. The other suit, you notice that this individual happens to be wearing a
Like one for me?
what?
Like, are they wearing a suit for me?
No.
It's
not
always
all that-
your
yeah.
designs.
God.
They're very
He's wearing
exclusive.
your stuff.
I know he's
Yeah.
wearing my stuff.
Okay.
Always wears.
It almost seems ecclesiastical.
Okay.
There's another photo of him talking with somebody that looks like bit of a biker, and these are all in different locations, by the way, in the city.
Wait, trying to position herself to kind of like peer over her shoulder to look in.
we probably have like a even though I don't really need a kitchen, we probably have like an area where there's like counters, right?
Yeah.
I walk over there and I spread out all of the photos.
You said that one of them had like a biker gang. I'd be able to like.
You can make some contact. Make that same wits awareness check, wits politics, but with contacts added in.
Politics.
Wits, contacts, politics.
Okay, and then with that,
do any of these papers have signs of where they were printed or anything?
No, they don't even have a company logo on the back.
I check the envelope.
No return address. No actual address. Just Evelyn Priestley scrawled on the front.
It's handwritten?
Yeah.
Nicely or poorly? Script or
somebody who doesn't really care about their handwriting, but it's not the worst.
It said 6 die, so it's like my bonus was 3, and then wits 2, politics is 1, so 6. Okay. Oh no, that's 10, but it's the hunger dice. 2. So 1 regular, 1 hunger dice.
A messy critical.
It's and but outside of that, it's 3 other successes.
So you have like
you recognize the biker. That's a gangrel. That's a gangrel from an older crew you used to run with.
I don't know why Legrand is in all these photos. These people.
No. I wasn't done yet.
Oh no.
You feel the rage building inside of you. Both of you hear the rumble and growl at the back of his throat that he is completely unaware of.
Eddie, do you know him?
He shatters the counter, marble and all, with his fist. Punching.
That's like 15 grand!
Delia takes a step back, just being cautious about seeing the outburst and knowing.
Yeah, no, she screams at him, but she also backed away.
Yeah. She kind of edges her way over to, what is it?
That's a gangrel. Somebody I know.
Not fondly?
Clearly not fondly. Look at my countertop!
He's not talking to good people. Something bad, fucking bad shit's happening.
What do you mean? You know them. You say you know that. Do you know them personally?
Yeah, the last time you saw this guy?
Yeah.
Battle of New York.
Oh, fuck.
Oof. Was I, like...
You were fighting with
him. It's not exactly, He's not exactly on a lot of people's good sides.
That tells me nothing. What do you mean? Speak clearly.
What's his name first off?
Would I know this person's name?
I actually don't recall his name. You got a messy critical, so you don't remember his name. You just know that he's the worst piece of shit. You are currently fuming. The inside, you can feel the beast in and of itself just wrenching at you. You know that probably the next 2 floors down heard that crash of the counter as he rended it, essentially, with his fist.
It was imported marble.
You've got no marble. He's bad news. It's really fucking bad news.
Why?
Like how bad news?
Very, very bad.
Elaborate!
Why is he bad?
Because he killed, or we fought other...
Camarilla.
We fought the Camarilla. He was murdered. Lots of people that were kind of on their side And if he's talking with the current prince, and he was on the side that murdered one of the older princes, it's really bad news for my boss and your grandsire. It's very fucking bad. It's not good. I don't know who these other people are in the photos. Are the photos just like all over the floor now? Because like I broke the table.
Oh yeah, they probably went up and like fluttered around.
Make a anybody can now make a wits politics check.
Do I want to make another one?
I said anyone can.
Yeah.
Actually, no. You're barred for making.
Okay, yeah,
because of how incensed you are.
Yeah.
At the whole situation.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, I have 4 zeros.
But what?
8 successes.
Wow.
8 successes, and one of them's a hunger.
But it's okay though.
But I have
No,
4.
No, it's
that
fine.
means it's
Yeah.
messy.
Because it was
Oh
even.
shit, you're right.
Any messy critical is.
Oh my god, everyone's having a tantrum in this goddamn apartment.
What does
So
that
it's
mean?
literally 4. I have 3 normal and 1 hunger zeros. So I have
It
8.
still evens out.
Evelyn,
It's messy critical.
Evelyn switches though. Evelyn is not going to rage.
I get cold as ice probably.
What's she gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, I just broke your fucking table.
You dissociate completely as you realize that Le Grand Papillon is speaking with, you're fairly sure, the Chiafani, the Ministry, formerly known as Setites, and possibly a member of the L'Ensemble. These are not crimes in and of themselves,
But they are questionable acts.
but they are very questionable acts. And you start putting, the wheels start turning and the pieces start kind of falling together. Why he's been distant. Why Sigbear might have been slapped for saying something. Also, what this reflects upon you. He is your grandsire. You are of his ilk. This might not bode well for you, just as poorly as it bodes for him. And at that, we'll end tonight's game.
We ended it really fucking it up, didn't we?
Oh,
Oh.
Nice rolls, guys, at the
thanks.
end.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open up.
That was
fucking
literally the
chat
best
over
roll of the
here.
entire night.
Yeah, I think that's it for us, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. I have been Connery. With me has been.
Raquel Skellington.
Just Kevin.
Cassandra Lee.
And we'll see you next week for Vampire. We'll see you again during the week. But until we see you again, whenever that is, remember to always stay evil. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.